So I was just busy laughing at my own joke. It's fine. Oh, it is a UK thing. Steve. Yep, that's it. Last time we ever speak to each other ever again. Any of us?
Yeah.
Well, no, because we'll be doing stuff at finals, right? Yeah, they need to hook up the dates ASAP. The days that because we know that the challenges it kind of goes over a few days though, doesn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. This is, of course, Stage 5. My name is Bryce, and I am glad to be back. To more people who may be excited to see you as well, of course, it is Tun and Ellen. Ellen, how are you?
I am doing fantastic, Bryce. Just simply fantastic. I can't complain about anything right now.
Well, on the opposite side of the spectrum, then, somebody who doesn't stop complaining. Tun, how are you this evening?
I'm all right. You know, Ellen's here at least, I suppose.
Well, we've started off on a good note, so let's start talking about what we have coming up. Wonderful games to take you through all day today. Of course, we're going to be kicking off with War versus August first. Big game for these two, Tun.
Huge game. August obviously looking pretty flawless last week. On the side of Team War, they didn't struggle, but 3-1 is not a bad effort. But it has to be said, in the games they did lose, Team War 3-2 to Mavericks, who are the only other team who are 4-0. But August, a really, really good week for them. The teams that they beat were very, very convincing. It has to be said, Elevate and Mila Strays, very, very solid teams over the past couple of seasons. They'd be very happy sitting at 4-0. But yeah, I think this one's probably more important for Team War. If I was to delve in maybe that little bit more, August are pretty much safe in that top 6, but they will absolutely want to finish first.
Well, we'll have to see exactly how it does play down here. Ellen, these two teams obviously fighting for kind of dominance at the top of the board.
Absolutely. And you know, I'm so sorry, Bryce. You're talking about Orgulus and Mavericks, but
August and War. Sorry.
War, right? Essentially. I was gonna say Tun covered that pretty well, but in terms of Team War, I will say that they are doing a lot better than last season. And obviously they had more time to play with Yako since Invidian, so more time to make those roster adjustments and role changes or whatever that they need to work on. I believe that Team War. Again, like Tun said, Mavericks was the team that they essentially 2-3. They're obviously a top 3 team right now. So looking into going against Orgulus, they might have a better chance, but this is definitely a team that they need to beat.
All right, well, let's have a little look then at how we think they are going to beat them. This will be our maps for this throwdown, of course. Starting off, Garrison, Hardpoint, then Raid, Search and Destroy, Checkmate, Control. If the game doesn't end there, of course, we will go to Moscow, Hardpoint, and then Standoff, Search and Destroy. So, big game for these two here. Last time around, by the way, exact same teams, I believe it was an August 3-0. Let's see if that happens again as we go straight into this game. Over to our casters, Tun and Ellen.
Thank you very much, Brycey. And into another week of Elite Challengers. Of course, we are closing out the season very, very shortly, and these games are coming thick and fast once again. We still need to crown a champion in Season 5 before we do get over towards the finals. And, I mean, who better to sort of nominate for the more likely candidate to be top of the table in Europe than August? Look, they've had a 4-0 start coming in here against Team War, 3-1 record for them. This would be an important win for August. If they can close this out and sit at 5-0 from here, they'd be looking very, very nice. But as we spoke about before, Ellen, for Team War, much, much better season than what they had last time around. And what better way to start week number 2 of that season than with a win against August?
Absolutely, Tun. And I just want to give a quick shout out to the observers back there. They just do a phenomenal job at capturing the action. So big shout outs and thank you to those guys for the great work that you guys do. So going into this rotation, Tun, just like you said, Team War, yes, they are looking definitely much better as they're 25-7 right now, the deficit, and holding this back spawn as they do, they already had a great start. So holding the rotation to P2 is C. Lucky doing a phenomenal job doing that for 4-2 to start, make that 5-2 on a streak, and overall, not a bad start. So now they do flip the spawn, but 35 seconds left remain on this hill. Team War, they're looking pretty good, Tun.
Yep, this is nice, especially if Lucky can clear out the back here. August split spawning out though, so this is maybe a little bit of a dangerous scenario. Can't win their gunfights. Lucky still continues. Yako will find one at the front, can't find the second. Nasty trying to break in, finds his second, knowing August will break on through for their first few points of the game to a certain extent. Gunfights coming in the middle as well. Something to note for Team War being a Spanish lineup. Don't be surprised to see any of them just standing still at some point during this series. Very important football games going on, Ellen, here in Europe right now. We'll worry about the England-Denmark game tomorrow.
Well, and now Orgulus, essentially, maybe they're trying to hurry up and win this game. They have the spawns for this new hill here. So Team War gonna have to figure out how to break on this one here, as Orgulus looking not like they have a pretty good setup, as that's already 3 down for Team War. They make that for now. A clean sweep here, Ton. This is potentially where Orglis would have a lead change coming in. And already, as you can see, Nasty pushing on out for the front. The push is going to come on through.
Nicely done. Orglis still holding. It's that rotation. How many times over the Challenger season? I mean, we're in the 5th season now. How many times have we spoke about this rotation from P2 to P3? Steve already on his way, thinking about P4, of course, with 10 seconds to go here. Big gunfight's going to be going on over towards green, and it's going to come out for Team War. Actually, they win all 4. Where are Orglis going to spawn? A bit of a split there, so keep an eye on number 4. Harry's going to have the flank here in a second. Call-outs from Team War, they're all behind. They're all behind. They're keeping an eye on that space. Somebody else gets one. There's Steve there. Now, look, I mean, because Team War push out that end of things on green, they now all start spawning back towards P3. Is this going to help Orglis try and get inside here? Nasty trying to survive. The kill's being traded just about on Team War's favor, though. They should be able to lock this one in and extend that lead. They've been in the lead thing, I mean, pretty much from the word go, but they haven't been able to necessarily extend as much as they would have liked. Lucky sitting at 11-5 right now. He's a big reason as to why they are in the lead.
Yep, I was going to say that as well, Ton. And as far as the rotation, too, he was able to get by. Him and Yako working that rotation. And Lucky, 11-5 right now, might I say. He's having a really, really good game on this map here of Garrison. But the trades are coming through overall. Team War looking like they had a clean sweep there. And a very good position for the next rotation here for this P5 hill. And Orglis going to have to figure out a way to step it up here. And as you can see, Gizmo working there with his teammate in hand. They're going to try to work this back, and that's some nice shots there onto Journey. But overall, we already know that bridge control and that green control is very important here, Ton.
It is. Plenty left in the day here, though, in this game, at least. Now for Orglis, though, they want to try and minimize this deficit as best as they can heading into the second rotation. Lucky staying alive up top green, doing well to do so, and Yako will come through and find that kill. What's the position here for Orglis, though? Are they going to try and push out green? They may well. Lucky is ready and waiting. Does have somebody alongside them as well. It looks as if Team War should be able to lock this one in. They've been so good since that third rotation. It really was all Orglis from 2 to 3. Since then, it's been very dominant for Team War, and here we go with Lucky just going on another spree. 17-6 out of him. Wasn't too far off his streaks himself, but Steve-O will find 2. It's going to be for very little now as Yako gets control of green for P2, and that P1 hill now in the hands of Team War. This is a very, very good first rotation out of them, though, Alan. They'll be more than happy with that.
Yep, absolutely. But now this is where Orglis can answer back, essentially holding these spawns for the rotation towards the new hill here would be very beneficial in their favor. So not a bad feat. Team War is going to have to figure out how to break on through. Now Lucky, the man of this game, as he is still 18-7, 19-7, and he's really having a good game for securing those rotations in. So how are they going to break on through this one? They're going to have to push through that light side, and Nasty going to try to answer it back, but of course he gets complete control as they do push on through the hill here. But 18 seconds left remain. Orglis still have the rotations for the new hill. This is going to be a very good position, a very good spot for them to do so. And Team War, we probably might see this lights push here, but again, it's just Orglis that have the map control down on their favor for this rotation.
Yeah, look, I don't think Team War will be too displeased with the fact that they don't have rotations for P2, because at the end of the day, they've got a 70-point lead. A 60-point hold here for the side of Orglis is difficult to do, and it would still not have them in touch of that lead. That Team War now established, but Steve towards the back needs to win these gunfights, needs to start winning something very, very shortly. There's one on the journey. Still has others to find as well. Metals is going to be the next on the chopping block, but he guesses which way he's coming. He falls on down. Can Orglis continue this one going? Nasty will just about find that kill. And Orglis really need to start getting these points on the board. Lucky's going to manage to break on through. I think you'd be asking questions if you're Nasty of how he's managed to get that far, but nonetheless, Orglis need the points. They're in a good spot to rotate over to P3, but keep an eye on number 6. That's going to be Yako from behind. He's going to cause all sorts of problems now, and now Orglis need to find him. They need to hold P2. They need to rotate around towards the next hill as well, but Gizmo's going to help them do that. Nicely done. Orglis, with 3 seconds left, will get themselves over towards this next hill. And that's a successful rotation for them, it has to be said, but there's plenty more to go here, Alan.
Absolutely. And I want to point out that it was Steve-O. Steve-O was looking for, I believe it was Yako there in that corner, and Yako did get a kill, but Steve-O managed to stay alive in the back. So playing your life and valuing those spawns is so important. And Team War is going to flood on in through here, but the teamwork just outshined right there on that break as Team War able to secure the spawns and flip out. So now Orglis, they have to answer back. It's going to be much, much harder to do so, but still, not
timing.
Impossible.
The timing is horrible. He's pre-aiming, and as soon as he moves away, Tuma run through. Orglis trying for the break. Metals towards the back, though. Can he find Harry? He can, but then he peels him off the head glitch. Nicely done, and Orglis will break through. But it's only for 13 points here. So Orglis may well stop Team War getting to that 200-point mark, but they are still around 40 behind, at 170 at 1 point. But this is the time on rotation number 1 where we really did see Team War start to stretch their legs a little bit. We've got a lot of points over on P4 and then P5. They look fantastic as well. What can Orglis do this time around differently to try and disrupt that? Journey, of course, playing quite well. And he seems to be back to his game now. 20 and 20 out of him. Just getting those interactions, getting that time down. Nicely played, but Orglis seems to be one by one right now. They find a couple of kills. Can this be the break?
Very, very hard when just Team War just seems to be doing everything correctly. And if they're going to break, it has to be now. But and they also have to worry about the rotations for the new hill here as well timed. But again, it's just Metals who's just cutting them down. Journey, everybody is just doing so well. But now the split spawn comes in. If you take a look at Nasty, he did spawn behind them. So now this is a chance that Orglis might have a chance to capitalize this. So that's 1. That's 2 down now for Team War. Now a little bit of map control comes in here on that green side. But again, Team War did get that back spawn out. So it's just Orglis who have, again, a split spawn. So Nasty, if Orglis, they can collapse on this here ton. They can maybe do something.
Need to be quick. Yeah, they need to be super quick about this, though, because Team War only 12 away. Orglis are going to get themselves inside, but they need to find the kills around this. It's been constant green control from Team War this time around. Spanish side not giving that one up, and Harry's going to get gunned. That's a 7 for you, by the way. Metals, Yako follow through. And Team War now in the ascendancy, surely only 5 points or so away to close this one out. Orglis need to get inside. That should be game. Are they going to get near? It doesn't look like it. And Team War will take a lead here against Orglis. 250 to 163 to open up their account here. And week number 5 against Orglis, a very, very good performance. And has to be said, I mean, just completely outplayed them for me. I think the rotations sort of came through for Orglis on occasion, but just overall, a really, really good game out of Team War. They'll take the dub at map number 1, and let's see if they can continue this on. This win will be very, very important for them, Ellen. But as said, honestly, a very, very nice performance out of the boys on Team War.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely look like season 1, 2 Team War, like that top tier shape, top 3 team that we know that they've consistently have placed. And yeah, they definitely been doing their homework, and you said it well right there, Ton. They really had that green control. If you noticed, just for majority of the hills, there was always somebody in there, whether it was Yako or Lucky, just someone was just always locking down that green and bridge control. And just overall, they seemed to just play their game correctly. They did everything right. They rotated, they pushed out of the hills, essentially, and played smart, played together, played patient. And you didn't see those 1-by-1 pushes, essentially, that we saw a lot coming from Orglis.
Yeah, I don't want to say that Orglis would have gotten flustered by any sense of the imagination, but
it happens
felt like
sometimes.
a couple of, I mean, it maybe felt like some of their breaks came through maybe a little bit uncoordinated, I would say, whereas the side of Team War very much looking like that well-oiled machine that we came to expect from them in seasons 1 and 2. But now to see them back up and running is a good thing. Look, we want to see competition across the board. Whenever they're one of the teams that are really going to step up once again, you look at Elevate struggling that little bit at 2-2 at this moment in time. We'll keep an eye on how their games go tonight. Of course, those teams will not be on broadcast. Next up, we do have Amelia Strays taking on Mavericks, so we get to see other side of the coin there, and Mavericks, the other 4-0 team, whereas Amelia Strays is struggling. But nonetheless, it's worth keeping an eye on things, because I was just having a little look at the standings, and there's quite the disparity, it has to be said. It seems as if we definitely have a bottom half teams and our top half teams. But look, let's have a look at who everybody's played, and when everybody has played everybody, we'll get a better understanding of how things are looking heading into the playoffs. Raid's going to be coming up next on Search and Destroy, and Checkmate Control to potentially close it out if Team War can do it in 3. But Moscow and Standoff will be coming up in 4th and 5th. I believe we'll see at least one of them though here, Ellen. If I'm honest, it definitely doesn't feel like this one's over. We know Augustus SnD has looked very good as well. Team War, will be very happy with that map number 1, and has to be said, 50 to 163. It's the kind of start you want, isn't it? Not a blowout. Sometimes those can not really prepare you for what's coming in the next maps, but a closely contested, comfortable win will do Team War very, very nicely.
Absolutely. And just playing some of these top dog teams too, Team War, I believe their road, it does get potentially a little bit easier, because they already played right. They played the harder teams out of the way first, and then you get an easier road, essentially for the better record. But Mavericks only losing 2-3, and then, you know, depending on how this game turns out, if they do manage to beat such a powerhouse as a team, just like Orglis, considering, I mean, you look at Orglis, they've played first in Season 4 in group play, Cup number 16, 17, second in Cup number 4. Like, they have consistently been such a powerhouse team and so strong. So for Team War, if they were to beat them right here, right now, Ton, this definitely would be an achievement.
Yeah, look, I think it'd be very good for them, but I think, you know, they have to look at the fact they lost to Mavericks. Mavericks have looked really good as well. And at the end of the day, it's my favorite saying, it doesn't make a difference how you do in the regular season. As long as you place that top 6, then you've got to play as well as you possibly can when it does get to those playoffs. But you do, as you mentioned before, make things a lot easier for yourself by finishing in that top 2. Team War really still got a very good shout of doing that, especially if they do go to beat August. That'll put them on the same record at 4-1. But can they do it here? That's the thing. It's only map number 1 out of the way. We still potentially have 4 to get through here. I wonder if the Spanish side are maybe taking a little bit longer to get in between these games, it has to be said. Italy v Spain go. Look, we're going to be talking about football these next 2 days, Ellen. I'm sorry, it's soccer.
It's okay. I understand. Trust me, I understand. I know. It's essentially our version of soccer. I know what you mean, though. But no, absolutely, it's exciting. Just like I believe, like Bryce said earlier, it's like our version of a Super Bowl, right? So exciting as you will. Yeah, I would imagine.
I wouldn't trust his opinion on football or anything for that matter.
In terms of the level of excitement, I'm sure. Like,
yeah, okay. Well, we're thereabouts.
Pretty hype over here.
We do. But heading into map number 2, I mean, is there any side you're favoring? For me, I do like Auglis in the sense of their Search and Destroy. It's always they're pretty good. I like them on Raid as well. But Team War, as we said, this is completely different out of them from what we've seen in Season 4.
Absolutely. This is a little bittersweet for me, because for me, Team War, when I first just started even casting or just the Elite season, Team War for the first couple of seasons, they were my favorite. And, you know, I know they fell off a little bit. Yeah, Orglis has just completely swept the floor. Like, now Orglis has kind of been more my favorite the last couple of seasons. So I'm like, even with the roster change, Orglis has just been amazing. Every time I watch them, it's always just such an exciting game. So this is tough for me, Ton. Either which way, I want them both to succeed, but I can't really choose. I can't. It's just, I know it's going to be a good game regardless.
Oh yeah, we're expecting an entertaining Call of Duty, it has to be said. But heading into map number 2, which way do we think it's going to go? Honestly, I think Auglis may tie things up and make this series a little bit more interesting. They'll not be wanting to lose this one 3-0 by any stretch of the imagination, I should say. Auglis now. It's a big air hit, and that is a bad stun. Steven now going to have to make it happen. Shots into metals, gets it done. Keeps himself alive here as well with backup from his teammate. It's a lovely break. Up towards Laundry. Nasty and Harry just trying to lock this one down with Journey on the flank. Yakko will find another, and now to 1v2 for him against Stevo and Gizmo.
Yep, and very doable 1v1. That was close. I was like, oh my gosh, it could have been doable, but Orglis, of course, able to capitalize that. And I'm kind of curious to see kind of what went wrong there. I noticed that the arrows of Team War were back Laundry, so I don't know if they were playing for a retake there, Ton, but I believe no one was kind of peeking that. It just seemed like, I I don't know. Orgulus is just kind of able to stroll right up and just kind of clear out laundry and go back to what they were doing. So what a very fast round that it was.
I think for me is the fact that Team 1, nobody was watching the stair push from Laundry, and well, Orgulus just walked through and fine. I know Melis was kind of watching it, that to be said, but nonetheless, it doesn't work out. But look at this mid-map approach from Orgulus. They're like, right, okay, it doesn't really matter about the bomb sites. Let's just check it from here. Yakko very, very weak. Stevo will clean up the kill. I like that from him. The angle over the wall through this one zig, nicely done. Now a 4v3 in favor of Orgulus. Team 3 on the A bomb site. They've got plenty of control. They will be able to get this one down, but it's about defending that once it is down.
Absolutely. And might I say, too, it's just so awesome, Stevo, with those first bloods. And he's playing so patiently in that middle map as he takes down Lucky. So now Orgulus in a 4 versus 2 team war. How are they going to answer this one? But yeah, Journey able to get a clean up kill there. And it's going to be very hard. 29 seconds left remaining on the clock. Going to have to push now. And Metal's able to take down one. So now if they can pinch on this, they still have 21 seconds left. They have to play fast. Nasty, of course, is already playing just as fast. And
I love this. Oh, my God. Oh, is he going to get caught up from behind? Finds one from Nasty. And then Harry goes down as well. So smart from Journey. Plays his life in the middle of the man. Doesn't take his shot. Sees one at the bomb site. And he knows the time is just not there. They've searched too long. Harry can't get off it. And that's a 1v2. Nicely played from Jenny. Look, he had his struggles over the past couple of seasons, but really one of the, I want to say one of the more legendary Spanish players that we've had in Europe for quite some time, and he's really living up to that at 4-1 here after 2 rounds. Nicely done by Jenny. One apiece.
Absolutely done. That took my breath away. I was like, oh my gosh. Stevo now, let's see. Oh, I almost thought he had a first blood there, but down patience from Orgulus is they're just essentially waiting for a team war push here. So team war with that middle map control. What's up?
I'll be honest, I absolutely love players like that in Search and Destroy, where players hold their shots. It's risky, but it's just not giving your position away. It's about knowing your surroundings and having really good awareness. Journey has that all in abundance very clearly, but oh, this is dangerous. Yeah, Nasty not going to be able to make that push, but Metals will deal with him. Stevo now needs to find a break here. There is 3 players in mid-map. This is not an easy push by any stretch of imagination, but here they go. The gunfights in the end ended up in a 1 versus 2 now. Harry just trying to stay alive, trying to find the kill into Yakko. Does he know Lucky is there as well? The shot's in. Lucky's so weak. Can he get him as he runs away? Not quite. Lucky with the reach, Alan. Oh my goodness me. Oh, this has been a good game of Search and Destroy so far. Let's see it from this end of things. Harry finds one. Harry sees Yakko. Let's ring around the Rosie. And these shots are crispy. Oh, Lucky is like, oh, goddamn, I didn't expect that. It's the fact that Lucky re-Charles here as well, and he snaps on him. Lucky must have still just been 1 shot.
Yeah, he probably assumed that maybe that he was pushing like that, but oh my goodness, what a play. And Orgulus, just the way that the teamwork, like, you know, Stevo ran out, baited for Harry, and then his teammate just able to clean up the kills, just to trust in each other to do that. It's just amazing, Ton. That was great.
Oh, we're seeing some big SnD players here, aren't we? We're only in round number 3. Metals now. Semtek's out. You would have seen the big push from Orgulus to defend over towards A, and that may well just trigger the rotation over towards B from Team War. Orgulus will probably set up a line here, and has to be said, across the map. Kind of flips it, but well, they're going to have to do that 3v4 now as Nasty does fall.
Bomb down.
Journey here. They will. Oh my god. Oh, he's got Metals for company as well. No wonder he survived. Metals finds a second. And that should be the round. That was looking like a fantastic flank coming through, but big up the Metals there. 2-2 now.
Yeah, very fast play too for Lucky to go get that bomb plant down, and then Metals obviously here with his teammate helping out in the spawn. That was a very, very, very clean round from Team War in terms of teamwork and the way essentially that their push towards that B site. So 2-2. Did you expect it to be this close?
I mean, yeah. It was a close game number 1 in a sense, wasn't it? But I mean, look, the thing is, the reason that we're here is just from big plays.
Big plays from
and
both.
clutches. It has to be said.
Yeah.
So, look, we're here nonetheless. And while this is going to be a full A site push from Orgulus, what can they do with it? So, I'm look at other games going on right now. Rejects are taking on Belgium Power. GCPW taking on the Amelia's Trays. Mavericks against Elevate. Another good game ongoing this evening. Zorgless and Timor fight this one out. Journey finds the first blood. Lucky will find a second. Gizmo, can he trade another? No, he cannot. Now Harry in a 1 versus 3 finds 2. Can he get away in time? No, he cannot. And Yako will just about clean up shop, and Timor will get their 3rd round.
Very, very clean too. Team War, what I really liked what they did there. First time around, essentially, they lost. They were closer to Laundry, but they completely gave it up and they played further back. As soon as Orglis was able to push up here in better positions, of course, Harry's still beating, but they were essentially in better positions to trade and essentially clean up those kills in the back. And obviously, Yako able to get that aggressive kill onto Harry this time, not play so passive as he did around the rock the round before, not allowing Orglis to clutch up, but smarter, a little bit of smarter and defensive round for Team War as they anticipated that B push. But last time around, we saw them push B and plant B. So now this time around, it looks like they're going to make their way towards A or just play patiently. But although it looks like it is going over a ton.
They're taking their time. They're taking their time. I haven't really seen any B hits from either team here, and Will Lucky is going to get himself a free. Well, I said a free jump onto the bomb site, and it's a coordinated artillery that comes on through. From Oglis, they're like, yeah, you want to jump the bomb? And this. Now 3v3. This Journey will find Steve-O. That bomb is going to eventually go down, but Harry will find one from the middle. Yako should trade it, but Gizmo finds Journey on the site. Now a 1v2 for Yako. Yeah, they're just going to jump it. They know he's so far away.
Yeah. And I don't know. This is going to be tough if he can make it through, but I don't think no time. Yeah. No time. Way too far away. Oof. That was tough, essentially, with Wacko being so far away, but that essentially left his teammate alone onto the point and Journey. And just, it's just so hard when you're not in trading position. Yeah,
that's it. I think Yako is doing the right thing. He has to trade out the map, absolutely.
Yeah.
But as soon as he finds that kill, Harry's like, jump it, jump it, jump it. He's nowhere near. He would have watched the kill cam of which way he would have went. And that was that. Honestly done. 3-3. Very, very close game. Yako still a 3 spree as he does survive this one. And, well, this is a B hit from Orglis. We said we haven't seen it for a while, but Team War, I was about to say they've read it, or have Orglis read them as the first blood comes through. Journey will fall. Lucky will trade that out. 3v3.
Yeah. Steve-O in mid-map is going to find Yako, so that was a very important kill now of 3 versus 2. So that bomb is going to swing it over to the A site as they know the members are in the back and potentially at B, and Steve-O might come in contact here with Metals. As Metals doesn't know he's there. Nasty does clean up the kill. Either which way, I think he was doomed there. Steve-O was on his trail, so now Lucky left in a 1 versus 3. Kind of impossible when all members of Orglis are secured on that raid side. So now taking the round in a convincing fashion, 4-3 Orglis. This is going to be a huge round for them to win, to essentially double up, not trail it round by round.
No, that was, I think that's one of the first times that we've seen the 2 rounds in a row. They used to really been trading rounds left, right, and center through, well, different variations of getting it done, of course, seeing the clutches coming through. Now this is better from Oglis. They want to maybe stretch their legs a little bit, stretch the lead. And with a defense on red. I mean, do you really want to be... I mean, top of my head, I actually don't mind either side. I think it's pretty evenly balanced, but I feel as if defense is always kind of the better spot to be in search and destroy. I think with raid, it's maybe a little bit more difficult to definitely point out what's a little bit easier. But nonetheless... Team War, what's the play here? A hit looks like it's going to come in. Oglis are ready and waiting for it, but it is a 3v4 technically. Journey now going to be able to push up, get a little bit of real estate over towards Laundry, and now Yako will kill Harry over towards B. So what's the signals for Oglis here? Well, there's one. The bomb is down 3v4, make that a 2v4 now. This should be closed out by Team War.
Yep, and just like blink right as soon as you said that. Team War. Very, very nice play, I believe, on the attacker side. Orglis, they were stacking that Laundry side very patiently waiting, but you know what I noticed? No one was in kitchen. No one played through kitchen. No one went in kitchen. I was almost seeing, I was going to assume that Team War was going to push through that, but able to swing it over to that A site, kind of psyching maybe Orglis out a little bit, but That's sometimes that happens in Search and Destroy when you don't see either teams doing anything for a while, right? But either which way, now that round is traded again, I'm just, oh my goodness, I just want to see who's going to win this one already, Ton. But Orglis now, as you see, Team War gave up this B site this time around. They only have a person playing money, and that's Metals. Does see Steve-O swimming around in that water, and Steve-O manages to get away with his life. With a little bit of information, Team War is going to have to rotate over. And now, evening up the odds. Nope, never mind. Already, Harry had to trade on Metals. A 3 versus 2, yes. Orglis.
Can they hold this down? Steve-O's the main guy here. Is he going to spot this one? Oh my god, how has he found that kill on the Yakko? Now 1v2. It's doable for Lucky, but it's such a hard spot to defuse from as well. Don't know if you've seen, was it the Japanese Pro League, I think it was, the spot that those guys brought out. I don't think we're going to see that from Orglis, but 5-4 now as they close out. If anyone in the chat's seen that, let me know, because that was crazy. Who was it? City of New York who brought it out. Up top right in top mansion. Did you see that one? The spot? I think somebody posted the clip on Reddit. That's how I seen it. I'm not going to pretend to say I was up at 4 a.m. watching it.
If I see the clip, maybe I'd have to see the spot.
I'll find it and show you
okay,
it. It was stupid. There's a spot on mansion. I ain't going to say it. We don't want to give anything away, but nonetheless, insane. Shout out to those guys bringing out the spots. We love to see it. Anyway, nonetheless, 5-4 to Orglis now. Looking to close it out here in round number 10. It's a big hit over towards A from Team War. Look at this already. Steve was already behind, but he's got Gizmo for company. I mean, I'd like to see Gizmo with the Krieg. Maybe he's up in top bar, but nonetheless, Orglis will set up the pinch here, and now Team War stuck between a rock and a hard place, Alan.
Yeah, they have 2 members of Orglis on both sides, but at least they know this now because they didn't know that until Steve was shot. So now Nasty comes in, gets a huge 2-piece. What was that? And now Orglis already collapsing onto the point as the kills drop for Team War. Just like that, they were able to retake the 2 pinch was successful. Even though Team War had the bomb down, able to collapse on that just as fast. And oh my goodness, Orglis able to close it out just like that. 6-4. Wow.
Just like that.
I just...
You're going to see the other 2-piece that happened. Steve on the bomb site knows exactly where Lucky is. They'll find it. And there we go. Defuse comes in, and Orglis get it done. Nicely played. Look, I'm still looking for that clip from the other side of things. We'll get that one to you in a second. Nonetheless, look, a really good performance from the side of Orglis, but it was a very, very hardly fought from Team War, it has to be said. There was clutches, there was big moments for them as well, but nonetheless, it's a win for Team War, for Orglis. I always get them mixed up because I always think of Vortex, Steve-O, Team War, because, I mean, they were on them the whole of last year. Nonetheless, different point. Still a very good performance in that Search and Destroy. We're at least going to see the 4 maps. Let's have a look at how it did break on down, but some couple of big moments here, it has to be said. Ellen, anything in particular stand out for you?
I feel like that last round in particular, there was just a couple of rounds like middle. It just seemed like Orglis they ran right through the middle. I don't know, maybe if they look up back on that VOD, just maybe kind of, I don't know, Team War was trapped on the A site, so they didn't see anything, right? But middle was completely open, so Orglis was able to do that 2v2 pinch. Maybe just in certain plays, just maybe make sure all your areas are covered, you know, and just able to capitalize on those pushes, because I mean, essentially both teams, it was just so close, and it came down to just a couple of kills. But maybe just looking back at the VOD, just look at those key areas that were left open that maybe next time around you can cover and do something different.
Yeah, it's hard because especially when you get into that round number 10 and Orglis hits straight down mid and are immediately flanking you over towards A. That's just one of those that's unlucky. Like, how many times, like 9 times out of 10, if you're Team War, you've got somebody watching Zig on the attack, don't you? So, look, that's an unfortunate one, but nonetheless, let's have a look at how we are going to break down the rest of this series. We're into 2 maps, of course, but Checkmate going to be coming up next for Control. We will at least see Moscow as well. We may even well see Standoff for map number 5. And I think this series will probably deserve it, to be honest with you, being very, very close so far. It has to be said, Team War looked maybe the comfortable there in map number 1, but of course 6-4 for Orglis. And map number 2, they'll be feeling good heading into Checkmate Control. I'm trying to think.
They dominate. I feel like Checkmate Control,
do you
they
think?
always dominate. Orglis? I feel like Orglis does, yeah. I feel like they're going to take this one. I'm going to just throw my prediction out there because I feel like every time I see Orglis play Checkmate, like they do really well on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just a
Moscow
good
team
control
more.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's hard. I think either Orglis close this out 3-1, or we head to a map number 5 where
Yeah.
I'm not really too sure which way it goes.
Which you might be
Because-
excited for, Standoff.
Oh well, you know how much I like Standoff, so yeah, we excited nonetheless if we do get over towards that one. But I'm not too sure. I think Orglis will be feeling, and we know how good of a control team they are, and while they'll be feeling good heading in towards that Moscow, but I think Moscow in a sense is quite similar to. Well, I mean, look, I say they're all quite similar to each other in a way. It has to be said. Every single hardpoint map on this game is very rotationally dependent. I think you know, in comparison to last year, which was a little bit different, of course. This year, very much back to that classic feel hardpoint where it is mostly about those rotations. And, well, so far so good for Team Moore in that aspect, but they are now one apiece after Orglis tie it up 6-4 during that raid. So we'll be heading over towards Checkmate Control to see who's going to take a lead heading into the final 2 maps, potentially, of this series. So you think this is going over towards Orglis?
I think
Are we
gonna go to
convinced?
Orglis. I do. And Hardpoint is up in the air. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I've seen Team Moore dominate on Moscow Hardpoint as well. So I don't know. I just feel like Orglis is just Harry. I'm gonna be looking at Harry's dominant AR. Just even though Lucky just got the first blood, it's okay. I just know Harry pops off on this map. So we'll see. But it is a new Team War though already, and as you see, like they're already starting off very strong. So it is a new Team War, but either which way, it's gonna be close.
Well, it is the better start for Team 1. Orglis not quite able to get close enough. Look at those shots from Harry. Just slides off and peels metals his head off his body. It's ridiculous. Nonetheless, Orglis still not really able to break through. Probably, Journey. He kind of need to win that gunfight. Harry's going to find it. Can he find Lucky as well? Not quite. They'll just about hold on over towards A as Orglis now start to get their feet just dug in that little bit. Oh my goodness me, Nasty's just been dealt with in the plane, and that should allow Team Moore to get some sort of control, and they do so. It's a 5-life discrepancy for the side of Team Moore. Looking good for them. Orglis now need to fight back.
And it looks like the plane control is going to be very, very key right here. And you already see 2 members of Orglis making their way towards that B site, and Yako already just locking down that plane. But again, it's on the A side. You do see Nasty, who's capping the A point, but they have to worry about Lucky. Lucky can really, really make some damage here into their spawn and their flank. And even though that's a good point for Orglis, as there's 3 down. Lucky, he's going to have to play his life, maybe get a couple of picks here and open it up for his team to push on through. But Orglis, as they're all sitting pretty on A, Lucky's making that damage happen as his teammates able to fly on in and clean up the kills. Now, once again, they did manage to secure the A point here, tons. So now they have to worry about B. But again, there's a minute left on the clock. They have time to do so, but the lives remaining in the favor for Team War, 17-12.
It is looking good for them, isn't it? They're really keeping them locked in. Team War in a good spot here. Do maybe a little bit more backup and to cover that left-hand side. But I think if you're Orglis here, yes, okay, you're down 6 lives here, but you're 50 or so seconds to try and make something work, and all you need is that kind of break. 3-4 for Team War very, very quickly, and if you're Team War, you cannot let that happen. They're now searching for Journey as well. They get rid of him, and now it's total map control over towards Orglis. They may be behind in lives, but it's not very many anymore. Can they hold out these next couple of gunfights? Steve-O dies mid-map, but B is still climbing for the side of Orglis. Keeping that ticking. Team War just waiting for their moment to break on through, and I think Nasty just got really bad timing as he did go to check over the top, and which will of these kills going to go? It looks like the side of Team War are just about going to scrape it away. 35 seconds remaining, only 5 lives for Orglis. They need to make this push count, but they have to take their time.
Now 4 lives remaining. Now there's only 27 seconds left onto the clock, so they have very little time here, and they have they are down in lives. So this push has to be coordinated. It has to be quick.
Has to be perfect. No. Has to be perfect. going to be able to make it work. Yakko just surviving as best as he can. One kill's going to get traded away. So that works for Team War. Can Journey find a second? No, he cannot. Which way the other gunfight's going to go? I tell you what. It's now a 2v5. But that's very quickly ticking. And it's been contested at the final moment by Yakko. He falls down. Oh.
He did it!
Team War.
4 lives, Ton. 4 lives in 8. Team Orglis. Oh my gosh, Team War. I was going to say Team War choke. No, I'm sorry. Orglis, oh my gosh. That was so beautifully coordinated, played by them, Ton. Wow. That's the second time I feel like I've seen that, like, up close and personal, and it's just exciting every single time. Team War.
You've just got to play your life. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
If one of your foes especially trying to stay alive, I know easier said than done, but Orglis getting an attacking round underneath their belts. A good start to the second round for Team War, though. Can they get something going here? That's momentarily 3 down. Looks like they're concentrating their efforts across the map. B and A both being hit.
Absolutely, and Team War, I was gonna say that definitely lit a fire. That definitely lit a fire onto them, but also did for Orglis. I feel like both teams are just kind of balancing that energy right now, and you can already see Gizmo's on a 6 streak, but potentially going down in that fashion, and Orglis is just stepping it up, locking it down. Their ARs, 3 ARs in hand. Gizmo, Nasty, and Harry just completely locking down the plane, the left lane, and Harry already being aggressive, pushed up in their base. That's exactly what you want to do, be annoying, be a nuisance, and Orglis just doing a fantastic job of that.
Oh, Steve-O getting a horrible surprise there as he goes around the corner. Nonetheless, Orglis really locking this one down quite well. Yakko is the only one, I should say, able to slip the net. And, well, they have that insurance policy on those streaks. Definitely towards A is a bit more of a favorable spot. They can use it to get a couple of tags there with the stun, so information is absolutely paramount here for Gizmo. The challenge comes through, and Harry's on the other side of things. I think, Gizmo he just butters them up for him. And that's 4 kills in a row now for Harry. This is looking like 2-0 to Orglis. They should be able to lock this one in, but the kills do come through over towards A. They will be able to get a foot inside the point. There's one member there. That is Yakko. He needs to survive. But Nasty ready to cut off the head of the snake, to say the least there, but he finds one. Well cut off. The lanes are just not there for the side of Team War. This is so well played from Orglis so far. 2-0.
Oh my goodness, Ton. And it's crazy because I feel like on the side of Orglis, everybody just had an AR in their hand and they were just completely locking down the map. It just seemed like the sub pressure, just even, I'm not exactly sure the ratio of Team War. I don't know if it's 2 and 2, if they're running 3 and 2 ARs, but it just seemed like they could not get out of their base. That pressure from Orglis is just so strong right now, and I mean, it definitely makes a lot of things easier when you have Gizmo, who was on a 10 streak, 11 streak, and Harry, of course, on a 6, and on the opposite side, helping his teammates, because as you saw, Gizmo was challenging Street, and then you have Harry there, who was helping him clean up the kills. Beautiful stuff from Orglis, so being up 2-0 here, we're already going to see a dominant, aggressive push towards that A site. And although Journey did get the first blood, still has to worry about all members of Orglis on A here. But now Harry's left alive, manages to just kill everybody, Ton. I told you, what is with this man in this map? He's going off now on a 9 streak, solidifying a tick. I don't know, Ton. This man's amazing.
It's the ARs. It is absolutely the ARs that win these kind of maps, isn't it? When it does come to Checkmate, you think about your ARs can lock down these lanes. They can then maybe try and find the picks from long range when you are trying to attack. Both the main ARs of Orglis are fully streaked out. Gizmo, Harry, getting the job done, and while Steve-O and Nasty are pitching in where they need to, they don't really need to do a great deal of work. Fantastic play from the ARs of Orglis. Can they keep it up, though? They need the SMGs to maybe start popping off now, as it is being locked in. It looks like Team War are going to give up the ghost on this one, and that would be wise. Now to hit over towards B. Can they get it done? Oglis. This is still a hard push, it has to be said. They need to clean them out, but as I said, they have that insurance policy of those streaks. If they feel like using the metals, just trying to force the issue on the spawn here, he is going to be spotted. Harry will deal with him, but Timor do get a couple of kills now. Should be able to maybe lock this in, but Nasty is going to be an issue back here.
This is very, very hard for Timor, and again, you have to get every kill, and essentially what you want to do is trap Orglis in the corner. Now, they're in a position to do that, as they have plane control, they're going to break out, and as you see, Yako kind of control the street, but just barely ducking away with his life. He does get taken down by Harry, so it's just Orglis. Timor was in a position that would have been it right there to essentially trap Orglis in that corner, but Orglis able to break on through already on that B site, and the kills are already coming in. They have the streaks in hand. That's 3 down for Timor. We're going to start to see the streaks rain on in, and this is it. This is looking like it could be it, Ton. Streaks in hand, control on the map. If you're Timor, how do you break on out of this one? It's tough.
Kind of just don't. If I'm honest, it's going to be very difficult. Orglis now, can they hold this one down? Not quite. Jenny and Yako will find those kills.
Oh.
And that's the problem. People have been stuck in streaks. So it's kind of been like a 1v3 on site. But I mean, at this point, look at the kills now starting to fly through once again. Jenny is the only one who can answer back. Nasty just taking his time. Look at the life discrepancy now for Timor. It's 9v4. Make that 9v3. Orglis can just hop the point and trade out these kills. Journey, not going to fall though. He will find the kill. 45 seconds remaining here. Metals will find one. Stevo though will take down Journey. Now only 2 remaining from Timor against a full squad of Orglis, and Stevo cleans it up. Nicely done. 3-0. I mean, you said it. You said you feel as if they're going to walk through this one.
You know,
they have done.
I was going to say, Ton, in the beginning, when I started to say that, as I saw 3 members of Orglis drop, and then Timor just seemed to have them completely trapped, I was like, great, I'm going to eat what I just said. But that round, I don't know what happened. They just kind of flew away. It just seemed like the ARs just completely dominated, took over. And I believe the first round that we did see them do that, they had 3 ARs at one point, and then just able to just kind of walk away with the win round after that. I don't know if maybe Timor got a little defeated a little bit, but yeah. Airy.
It's not a good way to go into map number 4 though, is it? You're going in against Orglis on a Moscow hardpoint. We know how well-rounded they are. It's not a good feeling, I would say, heading into this one. It has to be said, you know, that was a very, very convincing control. It's not very often that we see 2 attacks won, never mind by the same team. Bear that in mind. Orglis just did that with the fact that they were already winning 1 defense and then winning 2 attacks on the control. I feel as if, you know, the streaks did absolutely help them towards the end there, yes, but you can't let that happen if you're on the side of Team War. But as you mentioned, the ARs are the real big difference there for the Orglis side. Big performances out of Harry, big performances out of Gizmo. Very well played from them. They'll be feeling very, very nice heading into map number 4. I don't know, Ellen, we'll look at the maps in just a second, but are you feeling that we're heading over to map number 5 here? After that, I'm not too sure.
You know, I will say, I kind of both. I'm so non-biased sometimes. I'm gonna say this: Team War, I have seen them with their backs against the wall, able to flip the script. I've seen them do it even on Moscow. I feel that either that last map really got to them or it didn't. So hopefully if it didn't, we'll see a map 5. But I'm saying, like, going into this Moscow, I feel like, and again, it was with a different roster, so you have to take that into account. I don't know, I think we might see some magic from Team War. I'm going to say Team War is going to take this one, and I think we're going to see a map 5.
Okay, I trust you.
I'll just say that. But it's just, you know, of course, it's hard to say that from the Orglis win, but I'm going to stick with that.
Well, heading into map number 4, as said, Orglis just seemed to have been heating up into this one. Teams are just starting to load into the lobby, and I don't know. You know what? In classic caster fashion, I'm going to go in the opposite direction.
Hey, that's fine.
I think Orglis maybe close this one. I thought if they win the control, that they may well just be able to walk away with this one. They'll be feeling good heading into it, especially after that 3-0 I think it's just that momentum that we do often see throughout these series, where teams, whoever are on top at that moment, it's going to take something to dislodge them away from that path of victory. But let's see if they can get it done here. Team More, the Spanish fans will no doubt be behind them. It is one of those maps that you could definitely see it happening, though. It's not necessarily all about the momentum. It's all about, you know, breaking that with those rotations, etc., etc. So, can they get it done here, Team More? That's the question as we do head over towards Moscow in just a second. But look, on an overall view for Team More, it's much better to see them at this end of things rather than the lower end of things. Obviously, they had to re-qualify. They get relegated again. I think it was. I'll just double check exactly where they did finish. I want to say it was maybe in the bottom two, if I remember rightly. It was very, very close. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there were 3 and 4. That's why I couldn't quite remember. But there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with the same record, and unfortunately for Team War, they actually managed to lose out just because of head-to-head, I believe it went down to. But nonetheless, looking so much better for them in Season 5, Ellen. They'll be looking to go on and do some damage potentially in the playoffs.
Absolutely. And I'm just trying to think of what I'm going to be looking for this map. I'm going to be the player for Team War. I'm going to be looking at is Journey, because I feel like on Hardpoint, on Moscow specifically, I've seen a lot of clutch plays coming from him. So he's going to be my player to watch specifically on this one. But yeah, I agree what you said about Orglis, man. Just the momentum from that last map. I expect to see it here, and that part of me feels like I was going against myself. But again, I do believe in Team War. I believe in both teams, so I have to go with them on this one. And again, although it's a little bit of a rough start for them, they have to worry about those spawns and rotations here. And Orglis still coming out with that dominant fashion.
Yeah, let's see what they can do here for the side of Orglis. You guys just gotta keep a hold of this second hill. That's where they want to try and get set up. And well, if you can get some points off the first one as well, great, fantastic. Nonetheless, though, Team 1 do seem to be the ones finding a little bit more luck as it heads over towards P1. Look at the spawn out there also for Nasty, so bear that in mind now as Team will get very aggressive. 10 seconds to go on P1. They've got to try and make this push, and Harry will deal with it, but Lucky over towards the right-hand side of the map has managed to find a break on through, not just once, but twice. Steve now not in the best spots. Will back down towards Police just to ensure that spawn, but Lucky was a thorn in the side. Journey that will then follow, though. Team 1 will be able to push on through, but Orglis with mostly complete control.
Yeah, and how are they going to break this one? And you have Nasty already pushing out the middle here, but the gunfights in the back are won, it looks like. So now Metals is in a very good position in the back, as Orglis still does have the spawns as well. Nasty kind of dancing around with Lucky does get taken out. So now the spawns are still kind of splitting out here. It's just interesting, but it's Team War that's still kind of getting a little bit of time. But again,
oh wow,
Orglis able to clean everybody out. Now the rotation's already coming in, and you already put Sivo on the rotation. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was. It was the spawn for Gizmo. I think they still had one in back place to the Orglis, and that enabled the spawn to come through for Gizmo. On the other side of things, Yakko will find the kill on the Gizmo, who will then spawn out over towards Street. So forces him away, maybe a little bit closer than maybe Team 1 would have liked, but nonetheless, Team 1 do eventually win out this rotation on Battle. Will get down some sort of control over towards Library. Harry towards the back of Bank, though. He's going to cause issues. Steve-O, well, is that stick going to catch him? Not quite, but Metals does with his gun. Holding this down for now on the Spanish side. Gizmo finds the shots, though. Has backup from Harry here. Journey needs to clutch up, but he's going to have to back on down, and wisely so. Not able to break through here, though, Orglis. It seems as if they're trying to find the angles, but one by one, they seem to be falling.
Yeah, I feel like from on the sides of both teams, it just seems like they're both kind of playing these split spawns, but playing very close-knit to the hill. Like you said, we saw Journey back on down, didn't necessarily ego challenge and play close to his teammates. So now already Team War have that rotation over there towards the street side, as you see Yakko sitting pretty into the hill, and, or excuse me, not street side, opposite side, Harry. Yakko is on the old hill, sucking up that hill time, and Harry has to worry about Team War fighting into the back bank area here, and he has Nasty, did have Nasty there now, and Team War again just clear out both sides of the street, so now they have complete control, and they know exactly where Orglis is spawning. This is very, very not good for them, as being trapped essentially in that back bank area is not where you want to be in.
Either way, this gunfight just about seems to be going over towards the side of Team War. 6 spray for Lucky, who finds 3 on the site. Jenny, of course, sent to scout out that rotation over towards P2 as we do in around 10 seconds or so. Head over towards that next rotation of hills. Again, though, Team War just... It happened in the first map, and I know it's a completely different map, so obviously Garrison was map number 1. But to the latter stages, like the final 3 to 4 hills, or final 3 to 4 hills, hills 3 and 4, I should say, seemed to go over towards the side of Team War last time around. It seems as if Oglis kind of come out a little bit hot, but when we get to that final stage of rotation, don't know if it's just coincidence, but nonetheless, Team War closed them out very, very nicely. Heading back over towards this one, though, and into P1 we go. Oglis are about to clean shop, and they do. 4 dead momentarily. Yako falls again. It's looking good for Team War. Oh, for Oglis, God, I'm going to make that mistake more than once. They're locking this in, nonetheless, here, Alan, and Team 1 with a hard push over towards P1 and then P2 if Oglis can keep a hold of it.
Yep, they were able to do it last time, so now this time around, I believe Oglis is in a better position, essentially, to stop the pushes, but definitely not impossible. But this time, it is Oglis again, who do have the rotations. So going into this, they have to worry about Nasty, who is set up street side, and last time around, Journey able to win that gunfight. Team War is going to have to push through the middle and street. And Stevo able to stop the push here into the window. It's you kind of see the 1-by-1 pushes, but you see Yako able to sneak in that back police area. I don't believe he knows where Gizmo is, but Metal is able to get that kill onto Gizmo. Now Team War, that was the kill that they needed to secure the spawns and now hold this out, but they have to start pushing out and worrying about the rotations. And again, Orglis is still remaining that pressure onto the site, but again, that's 4 down for Orglis, and now the rotations are going to come on through.
And the problem with that kind of gunfire for Oglis, yes, okay, never going to be ideal if you lose all 4 of them. But then that gives Team War, with the time remaining, that extra time to just freely push up the map. They know Oglis is going to spawn out, and they know that Oglis is going to have to drop deep to get a hold of this next hill, which allows Team War just to freely walk through the middle of the map very, very quickly. And time here now to make the push. Stevo with the streaks, though, just going to ping it. Lucky will win the gunfight, or not. I thought he was. Mid-gunfight, I'm like, there's no way he loses this, but nonetheless, it's only Yako who can answer with a kill. Gonna now wait for the rest of his team pushing up Eskies to try and do something here, or just contest as best as he can. He will fall. Oglis just about getting a hold of this rotation. It's not a lot of kills coming through for Team War yet. Oglis looking to lock this one in.
Yeah, and a good amount of time, too. But I believe Team War looks like they're still going to push for this remaining scrap time. And we know how important that is. To go down for Orglis, make it 3. And they're spawning in the back. So now Team War able to get the 15 seconds, hopefully remaining on to this point as it looks like. But Orglis has to worry about the rotation for new. And Journey is already waiting into that bank area. So 2 members of Orglis going to have to worry about Journey here as he's going to stop the push. But Orglis able to clean up a couple of seconds now. Stevo has those streaks in hand. Gonna place him down, and that's gonna make Team War sprinter out a little bit, but able to cleaning up the kills.
Oh, wow.
That is not good if you are Orglis. So now Team War still remain in control. Harry's left alone in this back bank area. Maybe they can work a collapse, but it's just Team War who essentially are picking up the kills here.
Yeah, Team War having a really good time of things when they are trying to break these hills. Not just finding 1, 2, or 3 kills, it's always seemingly full. Oglis falling maybe that little bit too easily very, very quickly. Just trying to contest this one as best as they can. They know they've had pretty good holds when it does come towards those P2 rotations, but look at the spawn out. They're going to spawn towards backbank, so it's going to be a big gunfight for Stevo to try and hold down these spawns. Or at least try and hold down some sort of control. Yako now, he isn't going to be able to quite get the snap on a Stevo, who will eventually be cleaned up. Well, for the first time, Team War are going to lock in this P2 rotation when we do get there, and they are the ones sitting on this middle hill as well. Feels as if Oglis are getting a little bit desperate now, Ellen.
Yeah, it just seemed like it from that gunfight. Team War now, is like you said, this is a very good position for them. They have control over this P1 rotation, and now it looks like Orglis able to essentially get the time. But again, the rotation for P2, Team War has control, so they're going to have to start worrying about that. Now just essentially the contest is coming in, but Orglis is just fighting for this time. Even being contested, they're still fighting for the time, fighting to push through, but no one's actually working the rotation just yet. So that's 12 seconds left remaining on the point. Now Harry and Nasty, it looks like they're going to work the street side, but still there's two members of War there who just completely shut them down. And then you see Steve just beaming medals like that. So and still, just as that, able to trade out those kills, Team War still have the spawns for the back. This is going to be trouble here if they get every single spawn.
It's not looking good here for the side of Orglis. Need to find kills. They need to find them quickly. I think they've got one more chance for a break. Nasty's probably going to fall here to Lucky. Doesn't. Stays alive. Lucky will spawn towards back police, no doubt. Towards the street nonetheless. But I mean, they're just holding it down so well here at Team War. Looks like we're heading to a map number 5. Unless Orglis can disrupt this, they need to get around 10 more seconds on this point, or just keep them off it as best as they can and then concentrate on these rotations. They can still just about win it here. Can Team War? Oh, did they get the tick? I'm not too sure. Gizmo needs to get the slightest of touches. Do they have it? They're going to be minimum 249.
I think they need 1 second. Oh, no. 1 second.
Well, if you're Orglis, you also need every single second of this hill to hold it down. You've just got to stay alive. A couple of gunfights not going their way, though. Journey's going to challenge Nasty. Can he find a second? No, he cannot. It's got to be do or die here for Orglis. They need to hold it down. Yakko finds 2, and you can't jump out of the hill because they're so close. And we will see a map number 5 here. This is series number 1 of the day.
Oh boy. I mean, a part of me felt like I was going against myself, saying that Orglis was gonna just come out and win Moscow. Excuse me, even saying that Team War was gonna win, because I thought from the last map, I thought Orglis was just gonna steal away with this one. But I was like, you know what? I've seen Team War play on this. It's kind of freaking me out how I just predicted the last 2 maps. What's going on? What's going on?
Hey, you're getting used to it now, aren't you? There you go. Look, I just kind of guess, and if it's right, you got a 50-50 chance. Nonetheless, Team War will get it done. And look, it comes down to their breaks. It just seemed as if they were able to do it maybe a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Than the side of Orglis. And when they did break, it was very very clean as well.
Yeah, it just that P2 hill, I feel like that's where things got weird for me. At least when I was it was weird. Like this P2 hill, the split spawns that kept happening, and I felt like it happened for 2 hills in a row, and then from there it just seemed like you said, just the breaks, just from there, just like it was like weird breaks, and then I don't know, it just kind of like panned out. And just even that one point where Orglis, or excuse me, a P3 where Team War had complete control of the hill, but Orglis was in the back, and it seems like they could have braked it right there, like you even said. Oh, okay, they still have Team War still have it, but they played close knit to the hill and essentially just played tight knit. It seems like, at least Team War.
Yep. Very well played, and they will force map number 5. Honestly, after that that control, you weren't necessarily expecting that to be the outcome. But we head into a search and destroy, which will be on Standoff. And I'm curious how much these 2 teams have played it. Yes, of course, they would have scrimmed it plenty, but how much have they played it in a competitive setting? How much are they feeling their strategies on it, if you like? I mean, the only team, I can't remember specifically watching Orglis on it, but I remember watching Team War. And they're very aggressive over towards B, if I remember correctly, for the most part. So let's see if this is what is the case as we do head in towards this map number 5. Early predictions, and Ellen will get them out of the way. I mean, I said I thought if Orglis can win that search and destroy, I feel as if they'll close it out 3-1. But Hardpoint has really not been that game mode in this series. Standoff coming up. Which way is it going? Just get short and sweet answer.
Okay. I'm gonna say for this one, Team War. If you say they play really aggressive B pushes, I'm gonna, I don't know. The aggression kind of messed them up, I feel like, in the raid. So I'm looking at the raid search and destroy. Orglis showed very good aggression in terms of that last round that they played. But I mean, if Team War consistently plays like that, at least on standoff, which again, I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there because you said quickly, guys. I'm not gonna think about it. Maybe it'll work in their favor, especially coming out of that last map win.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think that, you know, any theory or prediction sometimes really does go out the window when it comes down to a map number 5, doesn't it? It's never easy to sort of put a stamp on it, but I don't know. I think just based on that last search and destroy, it felt like there was a couple of cut rounds on either side of things, but it felt like Orglis were the ones kind of in control for the most part on that one. Yes, okay, Raid and Standoff are fairly different in a sense, but at the same time, it's still search and destroy. We know that Orglis are a solid search and destroy team, and they will want to continue that record heading into map number 5. Everybody looks like they're in the lobby, so we should be ready to go very, very shortly. And let me know in the chat which way you think it's going to go. I know a lot of you in there are supporting the Spanish side of Team War, of course, but will your team be able to do it here against Orglis, whose 4-0 record is on the line here in map number 5 up against the Spanish, formerly Team War, some of the guys on Orglis as well. So they'll be feeling that they'll be wanting to beat their old organization. I know Kev, the Team War owner, will be in here and he'll be damning me for that one, but nonetheless, it's nice to see this squad in Team War back to where they kind of belong, Ellen. You know, we spoke about it throughout the whole of this series, a very, very poor last 2 seasons, if you like, whereas this one now looking a lot more like the Team War we thought we would see.
Absolutely. Like I said, they were my team favorite the first couple of seasons, and just kind of seeing them fall out and then now seeing them back in this form, it's really good to see. And I feel like, I mean, realistically, we still have next week too, so I just think it's gonna get even crazier during playoffs. Of course, it always does. Like every single game, I feel like it goes to a map 5 just like this. So just to be taking Orglis, like I said, a team who has consistently the last few seasons just played so well. They even made a roster change as well. Yeah. So
I think since their change, and I feel bad saying this about Josh, but since their change, they have looked a lot better than they had done. They had a little bit of a lull, but since their change, they've looked absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, at least the core 3 from both teams, I feel like they always come in contact with each other. Like it's always like a rematch, or like these 2 teams are very, very have been there pretty much since the beginning with that one change. So just this is what we wanted to see, at least from Team War now. Just being back up there again in top form. So I'm happy for them. I really am. And just I wouldn't be surprised, just of course with their record right now, taking this here from both teams. But I wouldn't be surprised if they even took it the whole thing. They're doing really well. They're doing really well. But
yeah, I think for them, you know, it is a bit more important with Orglis sitting at 4-0 now. They are kind of looking very, very solid for that top 2 placement. It has to be said, Orglis and Mavericks yet to play each other. The only 2 teams undefeated up until this point, at least. Anyway, not too sure how Mavericks' other game was going on at this single time. Who are they actually playing in this game? Let's have a look. So Mavericks are playing against Elevate. Elevate, so that's a hard game, but Elevate haven't necessarily had the best of starts, it has to be said. Elevate actually beating Amelia, then losing out to Orglis 3-1, then Elevate losing to Team War 3-0. So so I mean, War are looking good for that 3rd place spot at least, but if they can win this one, they really are throwing their hat in the ring to get in that top 2, which is where you want to be. And if any of you guys at home are unaware of how it works, you finish top 2, you get to that 2nd day single elimination bracket. If you finish from 3rd to 6th, you get yourself into that double elimination bracket to find yourself then in that final day against the top 2 teams. But one of these teams is going to put themselves in a really good spot with a win here on map number 5 to get that 2nd place finish. Who is it going to be? Team War probably needed that little bit more, but Orglis, can they close it out and pretty much stamp their authority on season 5 here in Europe? Heading into Standoff. Map number 5 between these 2. Going to be a banger.
A lot of banger. I love it. An aggressive play, indeed.
What would it sound like?
I was gonna say. That's what I thought of when you said that. Aggressive plays, like you said, immediately to that bottom B area, courtyard area, and immediately Steve-O looked like he was going to push out, but the Team War stopped the push with those nades and aggressiveness. And already Lucky have the first kill. Lucky and Metals both make it and traded out by Nasty. Now Orgl is left in a 3 versus 2. Make things more difficult with 50 seconds left here on the clock.
Next kill's massive. And it makes it a 2v2 or a 1v3. Well, you know what you'd rather be in. Jakko is going to get caught out, though. Good positioning from Harry. Nice patience as well. Problem is for Orgl, he has the bomb position. They need to try and get that out. They should be able to where it is, but I think Nasty kind of doesn't want to give up his position up top. Is going to get that bomb eventually, but look at this flank from Metals. This just completely shuts this down. He's now the last alive. Goes for the shots onto Nasty. Will find them and will back on down. Now, what's the play here for Harry? Does he wait? Yes, he does. Metal shows himself, and Harry just gets the angle. Nicely done from August. That's a 2v3 from Harry and Nasty, and a good way to kick off map number 5.
That was definitely a tough position to be in. And like you said, what do you do? Do you wait? Do you push? And the patience there from Harry. You see it every search and destroy, every round. Just such a phenomenal AR player, I might say now. On a 3 streak. That's tough. I personally, Ton, I don't know about you when you're playing, but when I lose rounds when we have first blood, it tilts me. It tilts me.
Every time.
I don't know why. Oh, goodness. Nasty
You're a much
tagged
better
up
player
here.
than me, though. I mean, look, it wouldn't happen to you as much as it happens to me.
It's okay.
You know, I was hoping you were going to say, "Oh no, you're really good," and then you just went, "No, you're probably right." Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen you play. I think.
Very true.
Yeah, I haven't seen you play, so I can't say. But
We'll
I'm
not
sure
talk about my playing history. Okay, we'll probably just leave this subject. I don't know why I've even remotely approached it.
Much better at TFT, though. I might say that I thought you were.
Better at casting, anyway. B now. Looks like it's going to be going down. Nasty will be able to find the shots. Yep, nicely done. And Steve-O finds another. Team War now in a 2 versus 4. August looking to take a 2-0 lead. This is so well played, and Metals just not in the position to do it. That's a clean round. 2-0 to August now.
That was so fast, too. Just, again, Auriglis just within the retake on the site. Just playing patiently. They didn't play aggressive like Team War did last time around, essentially pushing that courtyard area. They kind of put back a little bit and able to capitalize on that. It's just nasty. Nasty is nasty, Ton. You were right. You were right about Orglis and coming up to play and search and destroy. It's so hard. And Harry, again, he still hasn't died. Nasty on a 2 streak. Just doing everything correctly. So teamwork from Orglis is outshining, even essentially losing a man down and having the live advantage in favor of Team War. They're still just capitalized very well here, Ton. Very well. This time around, though, the aggression in the courtyard, it looks like Team War gave up. Steve-O and his teammate there in hand, able to push right on, not there. I believe that's Nasty with him, yep. Yes. Able to push out into that courtyard area. So now might be a little bit of different play here as Team War wasn't able to push, stop that push.
Yeah, Team War are just going for the right. Okay, well, you're going to have to find us, pick us off. Jenny does find Nasty, but gets his life stolen away by the grenade of Steve-O. This is a big back alleyway push coming on through, but Jakko is being watched, tries to get the angle, and Gizmo will find the kill. Now, August kind of have a really good position here to try and push on either bomb side, to be honest. Lucky is going to be spotted, but that's an AR. You don't want to challenge it if you're Steve-O. He gets peeled. Gizmo will find Metals, though, and now 1v2. Lucky not in the worst of positions yet, has to be said, and time not necessarily hugely on Auglis' side. They need to get this bomb down and get it down quick. I don't think Gizmo's going to be able to be spotted from there, so that bomb will go down, and now advantage to Auglis. 2-0 up in the map. Looking to go 3. Gizmo going to take the shots. Can't quite find the right spot on the wall. Lucky will get taken down across the map, and August 3-0 now.
Yeah, that was tough if you're Lucky. Just the way that Orglis played that as well. I mean, essentially the way that Gizmo planted the bomb in a position to where Harry could see it, that statue side, that was very hard to retake. Essentially, maybe if Lucky went around the other way, but you know, with this just being such a older Black Ops 2 map, you know, I some of those spots and those rotations we don't remember that, but in terms of attacking though, I believe Team War look like they're going to push aggressively and get towards that A site, but Stevo again working this bottom brown. He just does such a good job getting in there and already getting first blood, evening up the odds for Team War. Now that was fast. Now it's Harry left alive. He still hasn't died yet. So now can he clutch this one here, Ton? You think 1 versus 3, the bomb is down. Can Harry, Mr. Do-It-All, do it right here?
He's going to play his life. Look forward to 35 seconds of Harry not really moving that much.
Streaks, yes, of course.
Yeah, the progression and look, streaks can be really, really powerful. I mean, both bomb sites are outside. It's exactly what you want. Streak's not a bad thing to have, and I think, you know, if you're Team War, you'll take a peep at that leaderboard, you'll see he's 5-0 and go, right, okay. We probably aren't expecting to see him, and if you are Team War, you also don't leave the bomb site. That's fine. At the same time, you like to get him off that 5-0. Only if it's a free kill. If they push it, they feed him that little bit more, and then all of a sudden, artilleries and missiles start becoming a little bit more plausible. And unless Timor will take the round, Harry will hold on to his streaks. Oglis do finally bleed here on standoff. Good shots here from Lucky, just this angle. Nicely done. The slow push through does not work out. 3-1 now.
Yeah, and that was a good point to make too. Of course, Harry. I mean, sometimes when I'm in those situations, of course, this isn't league play. I'm like, oh, I want to get all the kills. I want to clutch up. I want to be the clutch factor. But of course, yes, those streaks are very, very important. And now on the aggressive side, for attacking, you're going to see Orglis push down towards that B site, and Harry just going to lock it down here on the statue. So essentially, what's the play? Get the bomb down. Harry's in a position to watch it, is get those kills. Hopefully securing that, but he has to worry about that A site. Metals, it looked like he might be inching his way forward, and then Journey, of course, working the flank. So now Orglis is kind of trapped onto this bomb site. Looks like Team War knows exactly where they are, and then the trades come in, Metals and Stevo. The nade for the gunfight. Now Harry has the bomb site. He's going to work that plant, and Nasty and Jakob really just missing each other there. The timing from Nasty and the gunfights from Nasty. Journey now left alive in a 1 versus 2. And that looks like that's just wow. Orglis just able to sneak on in and get those kills, but winning the gunfights ultimately. Nasty just a beast.
The second kill, that really does make the difference here.
Yep.
Lucky falls, Nasty finds the kill.
I believe Harry got a kill that round too.
Yeah, he's just chipping away, isn't he? Getting ever closer to getting a hold of those streaks. 6-0 now. Oglis 4-1 to the good. Really are enjoying their time here on standoff. And for me, it's just kind of been those little moments where they found the kills when they maybe wouldn't have expected to. Setting up a very similar push to what Team War did last time around. Jenny's going to back on down that utility, forcing him away. Lucky will get this bomb down. It's a 4v3 for them to hold on to here, Ellen.
Yep, now the bomb is down, and they have control here. So Metals gonna come in contact with Harry. This is a huge kill, so now at least stop those streaks in hand, and now just the Team War very good positions in to just solidify the win. Nothing really essentially that was crazy that stood out there. They just played that really well.
Yeah, it's that first blood, and then they play around it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very well done. Not
Harry
out of this yet, and they
streaks.
do. Yeah, they stop the bleeding. So Harry now. Maybe release him a little bit. Sometimes you see players play around trying to get a hold of these streaks, and it just stops everything that they were doing well happening. Because they start to play their life that little bit more and maybe be a bit more precious about it. Looking like a B hit going to be coming through Metals, though. Will find the angle onto Gizmo. 7-4 out of him. 3 streak for Metals. You know, if Team War can win this round
Going to you.
and get Metals looking good. Steve though in the gunfight and takes down Metals, and he will find a second as well. Is he going to get some help yet? For the third, not quite, but Nasty is there. Lucky now in a 1 versus 2. They know exactly where he is.
You're on last.
Rock in a hard place.
You there, Kyle? You're on last.
5 to 2 now. All played Auglis.
Yeah, they're really taking away with this one, and oh my goodness, look at that kill from Steve-O. It just winning those gunfights, those key gunfights. It seems like Auglis, Steve-O, and Nasty, they're just always in those positions to feed off each other. And then Harry, like they're just seems like they're just really setting themselves up to get these picks and get these trades. And overall, Auglis is just doing a good job of that. So Team War with their backs against the wall. I'm curious to see how they're going to play this one. I was expecting to see maybe a little bit more of aggression, but maybe it just wasn't working out. And now this time around, just gonna look like they're gonna play for picks, play it patient.
Yeah.
I got plenty of time to do so.
Yeah, Auglis are giving them absolutely nothing, are they? Not allowing the challengers to come through. They're saying, right, okay, well, what are you going to do? Looks like it's a hit over towards A. There'll surely be a trade comes through nonetheless. Yako will push onto it, should get taken down. Hasn't gotten taken down. Now he can push through, finds one, finds two. And Yako plays that so nicely. Is Gizmo the next land of the slaughter? Yes, he is. That's 3 for Yako. Bomb is down, round over towards Team War. That's much more like a 5 to 3 now. Still a bit of a mountain to climb.
Yep, definitely, indeed, it's a big mountain. But wow, what plays from Yako there? Now we have to see that essentially 3 more times, just being in those positions. But good plays coming from Team War. Just so essentially just playing patiently, waiting it out, and capitalizing on those 2 kills over at the A site. Essentially, Auglis was split 2 and 2, so allowing Yako to get that 2-piece Gizmo rotated over. And they just already were on the bomb site and had control with his teammates in hand. So very good job there from Team War, but it's very, very tough mountain to climb, like you said, Ton. Already on the attacking side, we're already going to see this aggression coming in from Steve-O, of course, working this courtyard. And he always seems to do damage here. Kind of a little bit of information from Team War, though, as they know where he is. He's going to back down. And the gunfights from Metals cross map, winning onto Nasty. There's a huge kill. And Harry able to take down their AR. Lucky gets taken out. So now Metals last live. He's going to have to wait for Journey to push up to the site. Auglis looking like they're going to get the bomb site down.
They're going to go. Oh, they're not going to get there quick enough, though. Steve-O will get the bomb down. Doesn't find the kill, though. Harry and Steve-O drop. Now Gizmo in the 1 versus 3. Surely just going to get angled out of this one. Journey jumping on the defuse. Yeah, Gizmo can do very, very little about this one. And that will be another round over to what's Team War. 5-4 now. Getting very, very interesting.
Indeed. And it seems like, I don't know, that it just, essentially, I don't know, just taking from this, what they're doing is differently, maybe. Just maybe playing a little bit more aggressive. Winning those gunfights. Capitalizing maybe on some of Auglis's mistakes, but which looks like slim to none. But 5-4 now. This is a huge round. If Team War can win this, I'm scared. I'm scared. It's getting so close. Round 11s are just so exciting. But now kind of a split push here. Team War is going to work towards that B site. And Metal's already getting a first blood onto Nasty. Now Auglis is already down a man. 4 versus 3. The bomb looks like it's going to push on to B. And now Lucky, if he can get this down, Auglis is going to have a very tough time at retaking here. As Team War already looking in a good position.
Oh, how has this happened if you're Auglis? Feels like they were in control in the majority of this one. Harry can't land the shots, and the more that time goes on, well, you're going to have to challenge Journey, who finds 2. Oh, they just maybe need to be that little bit more patient as Steve-O is pushing from behind, but we find ourselves somehow in a round 11.
Oh, my goodness.
It's just good positioning from Journey. It's just really, really nice positioning.
Yep. Seems like from both teams, I mean, essentially they've been bouncing back from that, but Team War just playing a little bit differently, capitalizing on Auglis's plays, and just like you said, putting themselves in great positionings. And Metals with the first bloods every single time. Can he do that here? Now Harry getting set up on that statue side here, Ton. It's going to be exciting, but they already know where Harry is. So now Team War looking to have to defend this one here.
Yeah, August playing a little bit nervous here, but Team War haven't necessarily got a load of map control either, but Auglis don't know how much room they have over towards B. And they don't realize how many members of Team War are over towards A. Metals goes for the challenge. He gets taken down. Stevo with first blood, and there comes Nasty. Journey falls. Can he trade out the kill on the Lucky? He can't, but Harry can. Yakko now in a 1 versus 3, and Yakko down. That round was over so quickly. And Auglis will get it done 3-2, 6-5. And it comes down to that first kill that comes on through, and the trades just run on through. Team War just fall like dominoes, and that is going to be a round 11 win for Auglis. They take this series 3-2. Pricey, that was really good. What a good game.
That really was. What a nerve-wracking finish, though, for Auglis. You were right. They look nervous with very good reason. Team War certainly going to play. If Team War had won that, they would have taken 2 very big scalps in this stage as well. They would have had Elevate and Auglis, our finalists from last time around. But that didn't happen. Auglis hold on to their flawless record, and Team War are 3-3. It's an interesting kind of seeing how this is all playing out because of how close it was last stage, right? We know that these teams in the Elite Series, they are the best of the best, and they're all kind of fighting for those positions here. And that just puts it again, right? We went all the way to a round 11 map number 5, but I don't know whether that's just Team War have managed to bring themselves up a couple of levels and we should really be looking for them in their other games, or whether Auglis just had a bit of a slow start. The hardpoints did seem to be an issue for them, though, Ellen.
I agree. I really think that Team War has just stepped up their game. Just from making that roster change, essentially, again, a couple seasons ago, they did lose. They made a roster change. Even both teams did. Both teams made roster changes and they look great. But for Team War last season, they just probably needed more time to figure some things out. And just going into here, I feel like they just have stepped it up a few notches and maybe just watched some VODs and really just went over their stuff. And they're playing, I believe, they're just playing in the form that we know they are. They're definitely I feel like a top 3 team because they've already played, essentially. Well, look at what they did with Auglis. And then they want to, well, Mavericks, they did lose 2-3, but they beat Elevate. So just like you said, playing these top two teams that were, top 2 last time around, this time around, they're looking pretty good.
They certainly are. So they could have gone the other way. It could have gone there. Tons, I've got to ask you, Alan seems to think Team War have elevated here. Is it an elevated Team War, or do you think maybe Auglis had a little bit of a wobble there on some of those hard points?
I think it's maybe a little bit of both, because I want to say we've seen typical Auglis in at least the first Search and Destroy, in the majority of the second, and then very much obviously the Control as well. Whereas Hardpoint, maybe they just have their number. It has to be said, Team War just looked the overall better team. Rotations were a little bit better. They were finding the breaks that little bit easier on both maps. It has to be said. So I don't think it's anything in particular in terms of anyone looking better or worse. I honestly feel as if Team War are a team who are going to compete. But let's now put it past it. Auglis won this series, and probably deservedly so. They over the 5 maps, generally the better team outside of obviously the Hardpoint. But nonetheless, look, they win the series. Still, if you're Team War in this scenario, though, it's not too bad a result. You're still in a good spot. You still beat the other best team in Elevate. You should be good for at least that 3rd place, but that might be their chance to get top 2 over and done.
Yeah, I certainly think it will as well. I have been told, though, that now we've seen 2 of the top 4 teams here in Challengers Elite, we may get an opportunity to see the other 2. Mavericks versus Elevate is apparently going to a game number 5. So certainly has been some very close contested games here in the very first ones going through. So we are going to go and have a look at that one. But I suppose, Ellen, that's another big game for them as well here. Elevate not had the best starts to their campaign this time around, considering we saw them in the finals last time.
Oh yeah, I agree. I don't know what's going on with them. But I mean, is it just now that? Is it them slacking and then other teams kind of stepping it up? I'm really surprised to see them struggling a little bit. There's nothing more to say about it. I just feel like, kind of like Tun mentioned earlier, it is, it's just group play. If they do manage to make playoffs, that's really where it's, gonna matter. But I going into this, Mavericks already looking pretty strong on their search game. I feel like Mavericks might take this one because I do feel like Elevate has just kind of been slipping the net a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's the big problem, right? As we can go into this game, we can see that none of the maps, were particularly close all the way through here. And last SnD, it was a Mavericks win as well. This is a must-win for Elevate. They lose this, they go 2-3 so far in the Elite. They win it, they at least have a fighting chance of somehow clawing their way back into top 2.
Yeah, and it would be a big win for them in the sense that, of course, Team Horde didn't get a chance to take the win over Mavericks. So if Elevate can do that, it kind of puts them in the driving seat against them, even though they lose against that other side, because it's just typically then comes down to your easier games. It really puts them back into the mix for that top 3 placement. So let's see if they can get it done.
Let's certainly see then. Well, I'll hand it over to our casters, of course, and take us through this map number 5.
This is what... I mean, look at every series now and then. We just skip to the map number 5. It's always the funnest one. Nonetheless, Denzer.
Right.
We'll open it up for Elevate here. That's a complete lie. We love the whole series, let's be honest. But oh my goodness, Elevate all stacking on stairs from mid. And I do not feel as if Mavericks will be aware that this is happening. Although Eric Boom will find one, find 2 from Tiki. You've got to clear it out. Wee Man's then going to fall. Super and Sukri now in a 1 versus 2 against Bids. Such a difficult spot. He's surely going to get challenged. Not quite. 15 seconds. Time just not on his side. This one's not going to be done. Sukri drops down. That's the round for Mavericks. Good start for them. Very fast and furious round to kick things off here in map number 5. Nonetheless, though, you got to get rid of Eric Boom out of Tiki. I don't hate the push from Elevate coming downstairs, but when all 3 of you run in one direction, you haven't cleared the other side of the bomb site out. Those things are going to happen.
Yeah, especially if there's no one like money or going around that pool side. That was interesting play, but Elevate, yeah, if they're this is just surprising coming from them. So hopefully here that aggression factor, maybe it's kind of an issue there. I don't know. That's just interesting, but attacking now the bomb look like it's gonna wrap it over to A, but Mavericks, keep in mind they do have mid control. They do essentially kind of watching that back laundry push in case Elevate do push through. And it looks like Sukri's anticipating that here a ton. He's got that stun in hand. His teammates already wrapping back electric fast rotation. And already 2 down for Elevate. Mavericks are just playing so fast here now. Bids playing patiently, waiting for that push. It's going to be very hard down a man. Excuse me, make it 1 man. Excuse me, make it no man as they all just drop. Just like that, Mavericks already dropping Elevate and getting the defuse and leading the round 2-0. Fast.
Very fast. Very, very fast. These rounds are getting over and done with. I wonder if Mavericks are watching the game. Waiting for this round for the defuse to come on through. 2-0 now. Looking good. Gonna be feeling nice heading into round number 3 after 2 very convincing rounds. Kind of just walked through the side of Elevate, haven't they? And it has to be said, Mavericks have kind of been there for a few seasons now, haven't they? Vico obviously coming into this lineup as well has helped things out. But absolutely Mavericks, ever since that change came through, even we were expecting them to maybe fall off a little bit. When, of course, we did see, I believe it was Yako who went over towards that Timor side. But now, they seem to have just kept their place. Mavericks looking so good. Super though. We'll find the first kill on Denzer. Elevate. We're up a certain creek without a paddle right now. Hixie will find the fight onto the bomb carrier. It's a momentary lapse as Super's just holding the spawn. I mean, Elevate have not had a single answer to any question that Mavericks have posed in 3 rounds of Search and Destroy. 3-0 now.
It just seems like you said, Mavericks just so aggressive, so ready, so there. And Super already getting that first blood immediately in the beginning. And then essentially we saw Hixie was able to I believe it was Sukri who was planning. Hixie managed to get the kill, but then again, boom, Super was there for the trade. So it just seems like Mavericks is always in trading positions. Anytime you see a kill, someone else is getting the trade there. So Elevate, I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but already there. They're going to hopefully answer back as Hixie has that kill onto Eric Boom. But again, now kind of trapped with their backs against the wall. They're not necessarily planning yet, but now this Weeman, as he gets that kill onto Vico, this is going to be a very good position to do so here, Ton.
Should surely be around. Surely. Elevate looking to stop the bleeding, and it was happening quite quickly, it has to be said. Super now 4-0, well, he may well play his life, although absolutely not really that close. Has to be said, although after a kill in this round, I think we'll get a better idea of how close he actually is to those streaks, but he will not be too far off nonetheless, so I don't feel like this is doable for Super. Looking for those exit kills, potentially. Well, I mean, is he really going to go for it? Preserve the streak, so potential chance at glory. And in this house, we choose glory. Anyway, super. What's going to happen? Well, he's going to die. So probably the wrong idea. But 3-1 nonetheless. Elevate trying to claw it back.
I was scared there. For a second, I thought he was about to get that kill on the Wee Man. I was like, okay, I guess he's going to try to do it. But yeah. Maybe saving for streaks would have been the better play there, but either way, I mean, they seem very confident. They seem very confident, at least in their gameplay. So now in attacking this time around, just very curious to see what they play. If they play maybe an A site this time, but it seems like B was working for them. Essentially got the free fire, of course, from Super, but no shots able to connect. So now this time around, Mavericks seems to change up the gameplay a little bit, and so did Elevate, as Hixie and his teammate in hand, Denza, pushed through the middle, but Denza does get first blood, get taken down, and just like that, the members of Elevate already dropping. Again, Mavericks just playing so fast, so electric, and just trading positions, and now Bids left alone in a 1 versus 3, defending this site. The bomb is going to go down towards the B side.
Not really a great deal that Bids can do here. Shot's going to go through, so the position is very well known to the Mavericks side. And I don't think they're going to really give Bids an inch, never mind a mile here. Mavericks 4-1 now. I will say, you know, in the previous game between War and Oglis, it was very one-sided first half of the Search and Destroy. And suddenly we had around 11 on our hands, so don't count anything out just yet. Mavericks looking very, very good in this round number 6 as we head into it. 4-1 now. And look, they won the first map relatively convincingly as well. Elevate Search and Destroy game, maybe this question mark's going to be asked around that if it does stay in this same vein of form. But push on the A site's going to come through. They're going to get there just about unscathed. But Mavericks know exactly what's going on here. But the push comes through from Denza. He's going to catch Vico off guard completely. Sukri will do the same back and get that very, very easy trade. Now for Elevate, they're kind of stuck. They kind of really haven't cleared out their flank, and now Eric Boom is going to be there. He will find the kill on a Wee Man, and that could be the final nail in the coffin. Hixie will find one, though. 2v2.
Make it a 1 versus 2.
Yeah. Hixie now. I mean, the fact that he's been all the way on the A-bomb site and he's had to come back to try and do something here sort of explains it all. Elevate, it felt like then, even though they found the kills up towards Lone Tree, it felt like they never had control on the bomb site, which is strange.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you essentially have that one player from Mavericks who either get a kill or get a trade or just essentially play on the pinch, as you have Eric Boom right there, who just quickly managed to clean up all 3 of those kills. I mean, essentially, you know, they were just so worried about him. And I believe, what was it, Hixie or Bids there didn't get the trade. And he just, oh my goodness, just like that, members of, okay, Bids with the 3-piece there. We just said Bids. Just like that, already left in a 1 versus 2. Eric Boom with the bomb site. Gonna swing it over towards A and see how he plays this one. But yeah, these rounds are just very, very fast. Very fast.
Oh, super quick. Super quick. Now Eric Boom will get this bomb down. I don't feel as if he'll expect the double flank. And yeah, they're already looking for him. He's already weak, and Elevate will get their second round. Bids on a full spree as well. We'll get that defuse coming on through, helping things on its way. But still, there is time yet to go for Elevate. Can they find another 4 rounds in a row here? As you can tell by the tone of my voice, I don't feel too hopeful for that. But here we go. Bids with the opening 3. And this is just that mid-map. And well, let's see how many bullets we can lay down. Nice sort of spray transfer, if anything, by Bids. Finds the 3. Elevate. Well, they do close the gap, but the gap is still significant.
Well, like you said, I wasn't feeling hopeful, but when you mentioned that Team War did it, doesn't mean Elevate can't, but it really does seem like Mavericks is in the driving seat on this one. really need to step it up here. And Eric Boom already driving down the middle map. It's taken down by Wee Man, so they had 2 members of Elevate in hand waiting, anticipating that push, but Super does get a nade kill. So now the trade did come through. And that bomb site from Elevate looks like it's swinging towards B. And now the only person they have to worry about is Vikal. So if they can get this kill onto Vikal, this is going to be very good for Elevate. Can essentially get that bomb site down, but it doesn't look like they're going to play it here, Ton. I'm not sure. They're kind of anticipating, not really sure where to go. Make it a mid push. It is. Might come in contact here with Sukri in the back. Sukri able to spot Bid. He gets taken out by Hixie. So now a very good position here for Elevate. Still not, that bomb is still isn't going down. They haven't made a decision, just essentially looking for the players for Mavericks.
Well, that's a big kill, though. Vikal finds one. Can he find the second here? Just surviving. Super, though, helps him out. And, I mean, if Elevate, it has to be said, they're sitting there thinking we're in a 3v2. All of a sudden, they're in a 1v2. That very, very quickly gets turned on its head. Now, Hixie, can he get the timing here? Finds one. Can't get to the other side, though. And Mavericks, Vamos is in the chat. They will get it done against Elevate. 6-2 in the Search and Destroy. 3-2 overall on a map number 5. It's a big, big win for Mavericks. They and Oglis both stay undefeated.
Well, big game there. I will say this. I was kind of going through and just double-checking the round robin and how everything's been actually going for Elevate, because it was a bit of a shock for me to say, hey, they've only actually won 2 here. But realistically, it just ends up kind of meaning that they're 4th. That's all it's all it really means. Like, they lost to War, they lost to Oglis, they now lost to Mavericks. All these are in the top 4 now, and obviously that puts Elevate basically 4th. And I have full confidence this Elevate team will beat everybody else here, right? No doubt in my mind they're going to be in a good position. They'll probably go like 4-3, and then we'll see them in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, I will say though, Mavericks looking to set pace, Ton.
Yeah, especially throughout that Search and Destroy. That was ridiculous. It was just very fast round after very fast round, and I think they were just happy to take the gunfights against Elevate. They would have felt confident after the first Search and Destroy, and well, you could see that in the second one. Very good win on map number 5.
It certainly was. Well, from one set of great games to all the other great games we actually have coming up on our broadcast, of course. We did get to see Oglis take down Team War 3-2 in our very first game of the day. Coming up next, though, will be Amelia Strays versus Mavericks. Then we will take a trip across the wonderful pond to Ellen's homeland and North America. Law Gaming versus UIU and UT Crew versus Team Canada when we go over there, of course. But I'll tell you something, we are going to be looking at Amelia Strays next, Ellen, and they haven't had a good time since their win in Stage 3.
I agree with you there. I'm not exactly sure, but I know they did lose a member. We don't have Warding on the team anymore, so they have Callum, I believe, on the squad. So, I mean, maybe a little bit of struggle since the roster changes there. Not really doing so well, like you said. So, that between Mavericks and Amelia Strays, I can 100% see Mavericks taking that, just with how strong they're looking right now and the fact that they are undefeated.
Yeah, it's going to be a big game. Realistically, Amelia Strays need to start figuring out, can we get to playoffs at that point? Because this is the time when we come into the challenge and they say, hey, now we're going to try and figure out exactly who our 2 worst teams are, because everybody else that gets a chance to kind of play in our finals ton. Any idea who it might be?
I think it's hard to say. I think, for me at least anyway, that all the way through Europe, we've seen things be super, super close. 2 seasons ago, 3-4 for about 5 different teams. This time, it feels as if there is very much a top and a bottom at the moment in time. So I think it's hard to say. A lot of those teams at the bottom are going to be fighting it out. I feel as if Amelia Strays will get out of this moment that they're in. I don't believe it's going to be this game against Mavericks that starts that, though.
All right, it may not be, it may be. There's only one way to find out, and that is going to be watching the game. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you right after this for more Call of Duty action. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. My name is Bryce, bringing you all the action from today's game in Europe and North America. Of course, join me again, Tun and Elland. We have formed a trio since the very start of Challengers Elite, and we are continuing to do so. But I suppose the question now is, first of all, Elland, big game coming up here. Amelia Strays versus Mavericks. It looks like it might be one-sided, though. What are your thoughts?
I feel like it's kind of one-sided a little bit. I mean, Mavericks are undefeated, and just watching that last Search and Destroy game versus Elevate, just the dominating games that they've shown against a team that has consistently placed top 2 and essentially were champs this season. Going into playing this game, I just believe that Mavericks is going to take it, essentially, since this team is 1-3, not the best record, but the experience from Mavericks is just shining right now.
Yeah, I would certainly say so. And here are the maps for this one then. Moscow Hardpoint to kick things off, then Miami Search and Destroy. And then if you're a big fan of the Black Ops 2 map Raid, well, we're going to have it for Control, Hardpoint and Search to end out this series as well here. Tun, what do you make of the possible fall from grace of Amelia Strays? Like, they have had a bit of a rough run since winning.
Yeah, I mean, ever since Nuke J dropped out, they haven't necessarily looked as strong, have they? Look, last season they did manage to finish in a decent enough spot in top 4, not a bad result for them, but it has to be said, they kind of have fallen off. For me, though, I mean, I look at the teams that they have already played, just going through some of them now as well. For Amelia, they play Elevate, War, and Ogless in their first 3 games. I mean, look, those are going to be tight games all the way through. They're going to be very difficult games. They won against Belgian Power. I'm not too sure how they got in their previous game this evening when they did indeed take on, as I do just have a quick look because we didn't obviously cast over that one. It would have been against GCPW, which I believe they should have gone on to win. So now they could be in a precarious situation, but nonetheless, they've had hard games, Brycey. They've had very hard games.
Well, they've had hard games. This is definitely going to be another one. Let's see. Amelia Strays have what it takes to get a big win on the board. This will be significant for them if they can do it, of course. So thank you to Ellen, as it will be me and Tun casting this one, of course. We jump straight into Moscow Hardpoint.
Yep, and well, it has to be said, it's very much a must-win for Amelia Strays, this one. They need to get going at some point. The Mavericks have looked very, very strong. Surprisingly strong, it has to be said, and closing it out with a map 5 win in their previous series up against Elevate will feel very, very nice heading into this one. And, well, realistically, they should be able to get this one done against Amelia Strays.
You would hope so. Right now, we're actually seeing Pierre Cod back up furiously, trying to hold down these P2 spawns for his team. A lot of kills going to go down there, and it doesn't look like there will be a break. Although, keep an eye on that spawn at the moment. It does seem like Mavericks going to an old street. That will be Vital, who is there at the moment. Eventually, that will be a lock. And while this P2 rotation comes in, I will just give a shout out to our observers, of course, Shane and Kyle, locking it down and keeping us all involved in the action.
That's a brilliant art that Shane has. Schnod. Just flows off the tongue a little bit, doesn't it? Fantastic. Anyway, let's continue this one on. Irrelevant of Twitter ads and whatnot. Look at that from Vical. Fantastic stuff from him. And look, he came into the squad. He's been touted as the new young gun to come out of Spain. And my goodness me, he's played very, very well in nearly every single series we've seen so far. Can he keep it up, though? 8-1, 5 spree for him. Mavericks with control of P2 and still in control of P2.
Well, this is big here for the Mavericks, obviously. Holding this one down, and you've got to keep an eye on the man of the moment. He's around the back here. Big push, actually. Holding into bank. Watson will have this locked. He's got to wait for teammates. There is no point in moving yet. Vehicle is the man to keep an eye on that mini-map, but he will not be able to do this alone. He needs reinforcements here. Jackson's going to fight Sukri at the front. Sukri baiting the front here. Not been a great push from Mavericks so far. Very slow. It's going to be at least 25 seconds before they're in a position, really, to make an impact.
Yeah, it's a hard transition over. Had plenty of time to make their way, but Amelia Strays have well and truly dug the trenches, haven't they? Let's see if they can get a good amount of time here. And sometimes if you are behind it, it's never a bad shout just to rotate early, get a nice setup. But execution is very much paramount here for them. Mavericks get some sort of control towards the back. The danger signs are really showing now for Amelia Strays. Vehicle towards the back will find one. The spawns come in for Mavericks. They haven't really taken their time about this, but they should be able to break it here, Bryce.
lost an awful lot of time doing this. They've done a great job of doing it at the end, but it will be Piero to shut it down. And all that work by Mavericks, Amelia Strays hold fast and just threw up enough of a defense to basically get all the time they needed off of this one. No, with the street rotation coming in, it will be Mavericks able to take a more commanding position. Should be able to get that lead back.
Yeah, Mavericks, they do take too long to get a hold of it, but in the end it was just maybe making certain that they could stop the other team and Amelia Strays finding many points, and they've done well doing that job as well over towards this next hill. So far, so good. Piero is able to find one. The switch of the weapons comes in at the wrong time, and Vikal just continues his reign of terror on the map at 10-2. Watson not having too good of a time with things either is Chackster, and I mean, it has to be said, Chackster, he was enigmatic for Amelia Strays in the season that they won back in Season 3. 3-10 right now. We haven't seen that same form from him since pretty much the grand finals of Season 3. It hasn't looked the same player.
No, I mean, it may be a case, you know, they were kind of underestimated by an awful lot of teams coming into that stage 3, and then since that place, a little bit of VODs being watched, a little bit of research done, and suddenly not so dynamic on the map. And you can see Mavericks pretty much having the time of their life for it as well. Eric Boom will go down on that rotation. They are looking for P2 here, but it's all going to be Amelia Strays as they open up the kill feed completely and dump Mavericks into a P3 spawn.
Yep, that's good for them. Amelia Strays, this could be their lifeline back into this game, albeit they're not far behind anyway. But just to touch on what you said there, in the season that they came through and won it after not being part, really, any of the players of any of the Elite Challenger seasons so far, and to come in and do it in such a way, it really did catch a lot of teams off guard. They weren't prepared for them. Now they've really had their chance to get themselves in a better spot to beat a team like Amelia Strays. Things seem to be picking up a little bit for them now. Watson heating up that little bit. It's a combined 7 streak for Amelia Strays at this moment in time for Piero and Watson. I think should be able to take the lead here. There's 15 seconds remaining on P1. They've got P2 pretty much on lock. Mavericks going to fight through the front door nonetheless, but Amelia Strays not in a bad spot here now, Bryce.
They need to keep holding this and keep doing this good work. Amelia Strays were down, but certainly not out. And you can see, here comes a push from Mavericks. They do have numbers. Jackson, though, may play foil here. He's going to find Sukri. That's the mid kind of held down for them as well. And now they've all forced towards street. Watson's going to have to play his life, but Super will eventually get him here. Mavericks trying to squeeze, but it's not working out for them. Vikal trying desperately to make a god play. Actually going to end up finding Callum. How on earth they let him slip the net here? Jackson finally gets it back through as well. Sukri trying to do some work, but it will be Amelia Strays in this scrappy P2 that have held on.
Just about as well. Mavericks have really got their teeth into this one, though. They're deep in it at this moment in time, and there you go. The kills start to flow. Because of that, they get the spawn over towards Police, and then they deal with Callum as well. It's a nice break with only 20 seconds to play for, so Amelia Strays will sort of count their chickens on that one and move away and sort of say, right, okay, we got the majority of the time. That's fine. We can now set up rotation over towards P3. Traxter really needs dealt with here by Super. Can't quite find the kills. But look at the kill feed, though. I mean, if you're Amelia Strays, everybody negative minus 1 player and Piero. Look at the side of Mavericks. 17-7, 11-7, 13-8, and only Sukri at 6-13. They really have outslayed, but the scoreline does not tell that story.
It really does not. Eric Boom coming under a lot of pressure. Eventually going to go down. Vikal there. Vikal, and looks like they will eventually hold this one through. Chance here for Mavericks to go 40 points into the lead, of course, is a good hold from them. Eric Boom going to try and lock down that middle once again. And last time around, Amelia Strays had this and wouldn't let Mavericks get a sniff. Roles reversed.
Mavericks hold on here. Eric Boom finds 3. That's huge from him. Just seemingly gets through from banking. Finds the pick over towards that middle alleyway, and it just becomes very, very difficult now for Amelia Strays. They get wiped, and all of a sudden Mavericks can get a better spot on street. Watson soon deals with that issue. Sukri going to get taken down by Chackster here as well, so now Amelia Strays maybe in the better spot. But that lead from Mavericks extends out now to around 40 or so points. They have been forced back a little bit, back towards the library here, Brycey, but they need to win the gunfights if you're Amelia Strays. Vikal and Eric Boom combining well. Can they keep it up?
Well, you can see at the moment, Mavericks trying to force their way into it here, but Super eventually going to get that kill down as well. Still very much a contested hill, this one. Chackster playing that lamppost perfectly. Sukri going to catch a nade to the side of his face, but it's going to survive. Eric Boom jumps out as well. It will be Mavericks who seem to be able to get some time here, but it is not easy. And then you've got to keep in mind, those rotations will matter a ton.
get there and disrupt anything going on here. Oh, Checkmate does find 2 from behind. That's a well played by Callum. Sits himself back, and now Mavericks. They will have that P2 rotation, but Amelia Stray is looking to try and infiltrate that. Checkmate moving forward. Maybe needs a little bit of support from his teammates to help him out here, though. Gets it. Callum finds the kill. Now it's about trying to clear them out. Looking at my rate, Sukri does spawn out for the side of Mavericks, so not the control that they would hope to have on that P2 rotation.
Vehicle, though, again, more and more work going into dubs. They've got to be careful here not to lose this P2 rotation. You are right, Ton. It's pretty paramount to how it could end up going. Eventually, Mavericks will get a clear here. They can try and squeeze a little bit of time out of P1, but at this stage of the game, P1 can be contested pretty easily, but it will be the P2 they're watching for. And that's what you're seeing the players now spread out along the mini-map, trying to figure out. Eric Boom's gone around the back, somehow managed to get 2, take down by Checkmate. And Super gets the 3rd here at the same time. One more player going through. That's a double chow. That's a wipe. And Mavericks, with 18 seconds left of scrap on P1, still have control of P2, Ton.
They're in a really good spot here as they do break the 200-point mark as well. Mavericks looking good to try and close this one out. Another flurry of kills, and they are well and truly comfortably in the driving seat. Piero will find 1. Sucre finding that kill to Piero, but it's a 3-man down the middle for Amelia Strays, and it's, well, fish in a barrel sort of springs to mind there, has to be said. I like the brazen, bold push, but Mavericks are very, very prepared to deal with that one, and they're pushing forward. They're spreading their wings a little bit, making it harder for players like Checkmate to push on through, but couple of kills come through, but Mavericks, look at the scoreline, Bryce.
Yeah, it's been pretty one-sided so far. I mean, not only that, but keep an eye on Vehicle. 26 and 10. Tries to go over 27 and 10. Not going to quite happen out for it. Watson makes 2 and dives into the point. And he has managed to spawn them out here, and that will be scrap time to Amelia Strays. And this game is not over. Technically, if Amelia Strays can get across this map and get in here, they have a good chance to win, but they have to make a force. Piero Cod looking for this front push. Are they going to try and do it through the front as well? Eric Boom's there. Eric Boom picks up 2. Super gets the 3rd, and that may be all they wrote.
Yeah, this should be it. Mavericks now in complete control. They do lose Super, though. So it's one final push for Amelia Strays, and there's only one route you can go through, and that's via the stairs through this very, very small choke point. 10 seconds to go. Can you do it, Sukri, Eric Boom, Bickle, all combining? That should be game. Mavericks. I want to say it feels like it's been comfortable, Brycey, as they are going to lock in those 250. For all the kills that they were able to put up, it's only a 53-point game. Well played from Mavericks, but they'll be happy with it. Don't get me wrong, but they'll probably feel as if it could have been even cleaner than it was.
Yeah, certainly. I think where Amelia Strays did well, even though they lost the map, is that in these scrappy hard points, they were able to keep the pressure up. At no point were Mavericks just having a complete run of the map. You thought, oh yeah, maybe Mavericks have broke this, or they've held this position very, very well. Next thing you know, Amelia Strays have found kills out of nowhere and have basically ripped away a good chunk of time for the majority of it. P3, first rotation, is a great example of that. Mavericks, they slow stacked it. Vehicle went round the back. They tried desperately to make that break, and technically they did everything right, but it was just too slow, and Amelia Strays still walked away with all the time.
Yeah, it was one of those, wasn't it, where it was just free time on occasion over towards Amelia Strays, but not quite enough free time. And I suppose it kind of worked out for Mavericks then, isn't it? The game plan is to play these retakes maybe that little bit slower, to make them maybe a little bit more efficient in a way. I don't know. It's an interesting one, but Mavericks nonetheless will be happy with the map win, irrelevant of how they got there and by whatever means. Heading into a search and destroy, though, from what we've seen from them on Raid in particular in that last series, of course we only got to catch the back end of that series, they looked super, super good when it did come down to Raid on search and destroy, at least anyway. Very, very fast. And if they play that same way on Miami, it's not necessarily when you can do it on, unless you are hitting B time and time and time again. It's not the strat we usually see. Beginning of the year, B was really the more concentrated bomb site. Of course, we moved everything over towards the beach. It's getting a bit sunny out, Brycey, you know. It's getting towards summer. I know you've got your aircon going, mate. I know you don't really feel it. But up here in the northeast, neither do we, because it's miserable. But nonetheless, Miami coming up, and then 3 raids potentially afterwards.
Yeah, I think realistically at this point here, at some point Amelia Strays are going to really have to start honestly, here's the problem for them. I feel like even if they took the next 2, I would still probably pull for Mavericks to get, you know, fight in this game 3-2 as well. I think they are the stronger team in this scenario. I think they are going to be stronger on this map as well. Whether or not Administrate's fine form on raid control is really the question I'm going to be asking here. But I don't know. Is this just a big mismatch? Realistically, you are right saying at the moment, Administrate have had nothing but hard games. The top 4 teams seem to be pretty much shutting everybody down outside of them. But it's weird to kind of say that Administrate, you know, I don't consider them in that top 4.
Yeah. I think, in fairness, you would say that the team that's maybe surprised just a little bit is probably Mavericks, if anything. Although, you know, for Team More, as we do get into this one, and we'll get back on subject in a second as Vico finds this kill on the column. Team More have stepped it up, Mavericks have stepped it up, and it's left this little bit of a gap for the teams that haven't been able to keep up themselves.
Yeah.
Just getting used to, sorry, as well, Bar, sorry to cut you off. I didn't realize Amelia Stray has lost 3-0 to GCPW. So this is must win, or Amelia Strays could be staring down the barrel of relegation. Never mind not making it through the playoffs.
Yeah, and that'd be disastrous for them. I mean, they've been a mainstay for the last 2 stages of this as well. Pirocod last alive. Oh, sorry, no, it's Sukri's last alive. Piero and Chaxter. Can he find the 1v2? He's going to find a bomb! Surely! Just managed to get the bomb defused. Sukri just a second too late. He thought maybe he had just caught them in time, but it was not to be.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Chaxter just about gets away with it. That they both have to jump it in. It's an advantageous position, it has to be said, for the Mavericks side. You kind of expect Sukri to potentially close that one out, but maybe took just a little bit too long to get around. Now Amelia Stray's in the driving seat here, and as said, that would now put them at 1-4. GCP at 2-3. Belgian Power, I'd have to see how they did in their game as well. But nonetheless, things are not looking good for Amelia Stray. They need wins. They need them very, very quickly. And just to give you a lowdown as well, tomorrow they've got to play up against Rejects V2. So that should be a game they should be able to win. But everybody else above them is kind of started stretching their legs away from them. So Amelia Strays need to step it up in the search and destroy. She's currently a 4v2 in favor of Mavericks, who should be able to even this up now, Bryce. But these series are super important for a team like Amelia Strays.
That Semtex is great, but he's got one coming against him as well. Trying to play his life. 27 health left. Somehow gets out of dodge. I don't know how he did that.
Oh, Eric Boom's read this. The transition over, Callum.
Won't even
staying alive because staying alive because his feet are one size too small. But nonetheless, Eric Boom with a good shots on the Callum. Watson against Vikol. Vikol should have an SMG here as well. I'm curious if he's going to get caught on the cross. Oh, Watson. Does he have time to get over towards A? He should do. Oh, it's close.
Did he make it? I think he
it's
made
very, very, very close. Oh my god, I think it was 0.2. Bomb down anyway.
Is he going to see? I don't know if he saw him. Oh, he must have done. He must have done. He's had the call. He's going for it as well. Vigal's gone up top and still somehow alive. Vigal is weak here. Watson has the advantage, but not in that position. Watson went for the challenge. Watson was defending the bomb. I'm guessing he just didn't want him to recoup the health and was hoping for a single bullet.
Oh, I hope that's the kill cam. No, it's not. Damn it. Anyway, yeah, it's a weird one from Watson. I kind of get it. But he could have backed down, maybe because just Vigal had the height on him as well.
Yeah, I think he was worried about that SMG just basically
just jumping down on him
and gunning him. He must have thought, hey, this guy's one shot. I'm in pretty good condition. I'll make this jump. I just got to put a bullet in him. Unfortunately, that's not how it worked. Vigal not only was on the AC, but he was ready for it.
Well,
round
round 3 we go.
Over that one. He's going to be unhappy.
Yeah, that's knowing him as well. he'll not be happy about that, Bryce. I think you'd agree.
No, I don't think he will be at all. But we will see if he regains during this search and destroy, of course. So Here comes the push from Mavericks. This is a very old strategy. Heavy B pressure, sneak A plant. Is he going to get in here?
The old switcheroo, eh? Earlier stuns at B. We're at B, guys. We're at B.
Oh, no,
Thankfully for Mavericks, or for the side of Amelia Strays, Checkster's still lingering.
There's going to be a huge gunfight. Vehicle has to stay alive here with Jackster in the area.
This is hotel control, though, for Mavericks. That's what they've played for here. That bomb just went down in a position where Eric Boom and Sukri will be able to see it. Oh, nobody can expect Super there, but Piero finds the gunfight. Sukri will trade it out with a kill into Watson 3v3.
Oh, Jackster's looking for him. I don't think he saw him. Vehicle has managed to just hide in that corner enough. 17 seconds left here. Eventually, he's going to be seen. Now, it has to be a push.
It's fine.
I mean, the Strays have the numbers, but do they have the time? Already players going on. Checkster's going straight for the defuse. I don't think anybody can see it. Surely, he's going to have to go for this one as well, and that's going down. And Amelia Strays have pulled that one out of the fire ton.
Honestly, Mavericks messed that one up for me. I mean, obviously, it has to be said, but at the same time, you got to maintain hotel control. You can watch it from that angle. They kind of get flushed out of that. So well played to Amelia Strays, but then Vigil puts himself on the wrong side of the bomb. Yeah. Can't look at it. That's the difficulty. I suppose in that scenario, he expects his team just to keep a hold of hotel control, doesn't he? And well, they absolutely do not. And all of a sudden, they're 2-1 down.
Wow. Amelia Strays certainly make a case for this search and destroy here. Very tight, very scrappy round so far, and maybe a bit of a different call coming in. It looked like they were heading towards Beach, changed their mind, now heading towards B. Whole team rotating through as well. No information though. Mavericks currently really don't understand what is going on. They just haven't seen as much of Amelia Strays to give them that picture.
A little bit of information now for Vigil. Plenty of Krigs on the go here. Search and destroy. Jackson trying to make this push. Callum will get across onto this bomb site now. It's in play. Oh, bullets are escaping through, but Vigil has to change the pistol. Can't quite be accurate enough. In the end, he is, but it is Eric Boom to clean up. 3v3. Looking number 4, though. That's Sukri combined. Oh.
Oh, Vehicle trying to push out again.
Sukri from behind, yeah, is going to get taken down. Yeah, this is another round of Amelia Strays. They played this so well. They're just winning big gunfights every single round, and all of a sudden, Super 0-3, and well, you will absolutely remain that. Amelia Strays 3-1 to the good.
Wow. We were wondering if Amelia Strays were down and out. They certainly are not, Ton. 3-1 now in the search and destroy, and that's exactly what they need. You know, they've had a very disappointing run so far, and that loss in their last game earlier today. You are right. The big question is not how well Amelia Strays going to be doing. The question is, will they be relegated?
Well, they need to win this game if they don't want to be, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of the situation they're in. Going up against GCPW, that's the game they would have looked at and said, right, if we win this, we're in a good spot. Mavericks, not so much. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but the fact they lose this now makes this a must-win game, and well, it's looking good. The search and destroy, Eric Boom. That second kill comes through because of the help that came through from Super, who was on top of the bus. He finds the shots, and all of a sudden it is a 4 versus 2. Mavericks looking to half this deficit.
Wow. It's now Piero. And he's going to set himself set up there, sorry. Piero card looking for this one. And Super just guns him. Well, that's a lot cleaner round there from the Mavericks. They are certainly going to be happy with that one, Ton. They kind of needed it. Like they had a few scrappy rounds, and losing scrappy rounds is okay as long as you get some clean ones in, and they've done it at the moment. But I don't know. Amelia Stray is looking a little bit more icy when it comes down to close rounds.
Yeah, they're clutching up where they need to. Mavericks really seem to need to steamroll it to get through, but Amelia Stray is just hanging on by the skin of their teeth. It has to be said that They have clutched up on multiple occasions. It very well could be the same scoreline the other way. It could be 4-1 at this point. Mavericks will be disappointed to be behind.
This is where it gets a little bit tricky here. You can see Amelia Strays taking that beach control. They're going to be trying to hold this one through here. Vika has slipped the net a little bit, though. This is going to be a takedown Chakstar, and we'll cut this attack to ribbons here. Now Callum's in trouble, and he knows it as well. Vika has just broken this entire push. Piero Cotter as well. It's not going to be Vika this time around, but it will be numbers for Mavericks.
And big numbers for them as well now. 3v2. And the issue for Amelia Strays here is where the bomb is. That's the biggest problem. They have to force it. Watson now. 1 versus 3. And this is getting tied up. 3-3 now.
Wow, I'd say this. Very much composure coming in from Mavericks. They managed to regain, and I will say Amelia Strays were probably quite happy with that little bit of daylight they had between them. There have been some interesting rounds so far, but Vika managing to slip through the net there. I'm sure Amelia Strays will have to break that one back down to the VODs and say, how on earth has he got into that position?
Yeah, I mean, questions have to be asked. Absolutely. Just free range for a player like Vika, and he is going to take advantage of it. Bit of a slow round here, though, on the attack. Oh, Watson over peaks, and Eric Boom says, thank you very much. And that's a free kill over towards A. Now, if you're Amelia Strays, you're like, oh, they're going towards A. Are they going towards A? Let's keep an eye on it. Transition over for Mavericks starts to come through. There's your answer. Yes, they are going over towards A. Super putting the shots down, which will allow Mavericks and Vika to get this planned off.
Put that down here. Vika trying to stay alive. Callum. He's going to challenge Super, though. And now means they've lost that driveway control. Callum trying to look for a player as well, but Eric Boom just guns down Piero. Jack's still looking. He's asking for his teammate to come and help him pinch this. Callum needs to get in a position. Didn't check the corner. Kind of checked it, but not really checked it. And Vig also, thank you very much. Now, Callum in a 1 versus 3, and with it, and he's dead. I mean, I was going to say it's an impossible scenario, but I think that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, Mavericks very much on the comeback here. It seems as if they've composed themselves up a little bit, and when they get first blood, they really are making the advantage of their numbers every single time. 2 rounds away from going 2-0 up, and you feel as if that would be another nail in the coffin for not just Amelia Strays in this series, but for them in this season. It's not been a good one at all.
Well, let's see here. Amelia Strays, they've lost the last 3 rounds in a row. And Mavericks have called this and stacked it so heavily. That's not what you'll see if you're an Amelia Strays fan. You're hoping for maybe an easy push, but here we go. Super holding him off. Chakstar, though, instantly guns down Super. Even though there are bodies here now for Mavericks, they have lost that first engagement.
Oh, Eric Boom from behind. I mean, how has he found that angle? How has he been able so easily to push that way? I mean, Strays have to back down. They have to back down. They've got absolutely no real estate, but I tell you what, Piero has maybe played an absolute master plan here. Oh. Okay, scratch that completely. I'll take partial blame for that. But that was tough to watch.
Well, Watson now wants to make this a 1 versus 2, but the bomb is down, and I think Amelia, Strays, and Mavericks both know where it is. Oh, Watson gets tagged up. Go for the challenge around here. Beagle says no, thank you. 5-3 now to Mavericks. That's 4 straight rounds on the bounce. Amelia Strays had a hot start, but a weak finish, and this will be another VOD review. Like, how has this happened again?
Here we go then. Do I die for Amelia Strays? So you are 2-0 down. Let's see. Vigal's been tearing it up, as has Eric Boom. I mean, you got a question when that flank comes through, as you said, as we both said. How is that happening?
Well, this is where Amelia Strays need to put a stop to it. They have to hold them here. It is not even a question of debate. They realistically had a great start to Miami Search and Destroy. You need to find that form again. At the moment, Mavericks just playing for positioning, not really making any sort of aggressive moves.
It's a big flank over. Look at Chaxter's position. Oh, Watson is there as well, but he's going to get picked off. It's all down to Chaxter, and well, I mean, he may well be spotted. Does he see him on the cam? Not quite. Chaxter on the site will find Vehicle. Does he know Eric Boom's here as well? He presumes he's still inside his missile, and it's just the heads-up play from Chaxter. Defusing the bomb. Is anybody there from Mavericks? Are they going to be able to get there? Oh, he does get there, and Callum doesn't see him. 1v1. Oh, that grenade's good. Callum now. Can he clutch up here? Sukri's now going to be tagged up as well. Goes try the other side. 15 seconds remaining. Sukri gives him the bounce, and that's 6-3. Mavericks now 2-0 up. And this is massive from Chaxter. He does so well. He does everything right, but he needs the rest of his team to hold on tight. They just don't.
I also think, I don't know if we actually ended up seeing it, but that play, I think Callum saw the other player at least on the field of view the observer has on. That's one thing for that one. It was just on the right-hand side, of course. Hindsight is 2020. We do have the COD cartridge and all the X-ray and everything else, but that play, I think it was Super who hadn't got round and managed to get that last kill. I think that was game over, but yeah, that player basically just managed to run, and it must have been ridiculous COD timing for it to end up happening, but another point I want to bring into this one as well, by the way, as we now watch the replays, is Amelia Strays threw that in the bin a couple of times. A couple of chances where they that was a 1v1 from Watson. We'll ignore that one, right? It happens. But the rest of the time, gaping holes in the defense, just being flanked and losing two players to flanks. I mean, Eric Boom there with an opening two-piece. Vehicle, by the way, should never have gone into this position with 4 players up. Should never have happened, and Eric Boom did it again on B side.
It shouldn't happen. I mean, there's 3 of you, and the questions have to be. I think it was Watson who was watching the flank, and Eric Booms just flew straight through. Finds his streaks, which ultimately don't make too much of a difference. If anything, they got him killed, but Mavericks get it done with the 1v1 that does come through to end it. That's 2-0 now. And for all the series in the first games of the day were very, very close. This one, I mean, hasn't been hugely close in fairness in any stretch of the imagination. Mavericks really started to stretch their legs there, didn't they, once they got those couple of rounds under their belt. Things were looking very, very good. So yeah, it's looking great for Mavericks right now. 1-0 to 2-0. And heading into control, Amelia Strays don't look confident. It doesn't feel like they're going to steal a map away here. So I don't know. I think it's hard to say. It is hard to say, but Amelia Strays are the ones that need it more, Brycey, it has to be said.
I gotta argue, like, realistically, for a good portion of that search and destroy, I thought, you know what, Amelia Strays, they look pretty good. They're winning some of these rounds. Maybe they can take it. Again, I am actually probably more irritated than I should be about those flanks coming through. And I've got to think the only reasons they happened are maybe they need more practice on that map in who's holding where and who's pushing through. Because flanks can happen, you can get pinched, but not when the entire team is up. And not twice.
Shouldn't happen now. Yeah.
Like, the entire team is up. Somebody should have been watching an angle for that one. I know they're playing it loose and fast. I know we saw some tactics in there. Like, we saw the sneak A plant. We saw the pick and the move. And we saw big stacks coming into the sites. Very standard thing in S&D. But for that to happen twice says that either the communication has broken down or they've just had terrible COD timing twice. Is it coincidental? I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch those rounds again.
Yeah, it's one of those. You're very, very right. It's still, even if it's just coincidental, it shouldn't really happen. It is a hard one. I feel as if the one where he jumped down from, did he go from balcony to garage? I think so, that's kind of how it happened. Watson was watching from like the harbor side, but you're not going to catch that on if you do. Maybe it was just too late for the call out to come through, but nonetheless, it's a big reason as to why Mavericks are leaking rounds in the... Sorry, I should say Amelia Strays are leaking rounds in the search and destroy. But big props to Mavericks as well, though. They've been the ones forcing the issue too, haven't they? putting those flanks in nearly every single round, and well, they're rewarded with a raid control to potentially close it out 3-0 here.
Yeah, and that's now the problem for them. Realistically, Amelia Strays now have to do the full reverse sweep to get this game against a very hot Mavericks team, a 5-0 Mavericks team, a team that is looking to go flawless, get automatic promotion into those grand finals and the playoffs. And I don't know if Amelia Strays is the team to do that.
I don't know either. I'm not confident for them. Not after what we've seen over the course of these first two maps. I think as far as the ALs go, they've been very, very strong on the side of Mavericks. I feel as if the SMGs are going to be there as well. It just feels like they've kind of been outplayed on multiple different facets here, and I just haven't seen enough from Amelia Strays. It's nowhere near the beast that they were in Season 3, is it? That they looked unstoppable at times. All of a sudden, Nuke J's not playing anymore. He's on the roster, so things change up a little bit, and it doesn't look remotely as good for the side of Amelia Strays, which is unfortunate to see because it was really, really fun watching them sort of come up. And I remember when they even made it through, I was like, wow, Jackster, Watson on the roster together. They made it through to Elite. Great. I wonder how they'll do. Can they finish top 6? They won it flawlessly. And that kind of caught a lot of people off guard. It could be along the lines of what you said at the beginning of the series here, is that it could be people figuring them out. It can happen.
I don't know what it is.
Nonetheless,
I think
yeah, hold on. I feel as if we can communicate what we just actually heard.
So currently,
I feel like we can.
Talk about it.
I feel like we can't. Italy and Spain are currently independently shoot out in the semi-finals of the Euros. So they kind of. So sorry. Well, we think that's what Mavericks are sitting there watching right now. Because the penalty shootout is actually currently ongoing. Not that I've got it on one of my other screens as well, but nonetheless, it's one of these things. Other things come into contact. There's a lot of big games going on, as I know tomorrow. But you said you would cover those.
You're casting during the England game, Ton. So
no. You're casting during the England game,
and I feel bad for you, but I feel like it'll be fine. You know?
Right. Hold on. Let's just go at the beginning of that sentence once again. No, you don't feel bad for me. Don't lie to the community and me and yourself. Okay, you do not feel bad.
I will just feel a slight bit of sorrow as I watch the England game as you. The thing is, I'll be watching both anyway. I'll be watching both, so
big
will you,
football fan, Alan Bryce. Yes.
Hey, I'll have you. You know what? I'm not even going to bring that up. I'm going to move on and talk more about this game. Realistically, Amelia Strays. The big thing now is relegation for them. That's all they've got to be thinking about. Get past this. Get into it, make it into that knockout bracket, and then figure out a way to come top 4 again. Because obviously, for me, even though this is the last stage 5, relegation, you don't want to be that last 2 team. You want to be in that knockout bracket for the chance to win more money. As we talk about, we're saying it's relegation because it has been for the last 5 stages, but realistically, the money starts ramping up the further you actually go in that last 2 days of competition.
Yeah, no, it does. Look, you secure that top 2, you secure a really, really good turnout, and that's where you want to be. You want to be in those single elimination as soon as you can. Sorry, it guarantees you top 4, of course. Nonetheless, look, we always say it. Even if you finish top 6, you've still got just as much of a chance to win the whole thing. But yeah, just to point out, I was noticing as the players on the side of Mavericks were filtering in that a little bit quicker. Unfortunately, Spain lost. So is that honestly, is that going to hurt them? And look, I mean, if it was me. If I'm trying to cast a game tomorrow evening and England are being knocked out by Denmark, I am not going to be happy at all. Is my casting going to be up to par? Who knows? Is their gameplay going to be up to par? No comment.
Your casting has never been up to par, so that isn't even a question for us. And you
as soon as I said
that one.
Yeah,
I know. You walk straight into that one. I don't know. I think realistically, away from other things that are happening in the world now, going back into this game, Mavericks do look like the stronger team. It's unequivocally a fact at this point. Amelia Strays would have to have a Cinderella story here. They would have to find some sort of magic that they have lost since stage 3 to come back and reverse sweep this game against Mavericks. It is plausible, but I don't know if it is possible for this team to do it. I just haven't seen this team do well since that very first roster change. And I think it was Nuke J that ended up stopping playing and run away. And since then, like, I don't know, Nuke J must have been the glue that held this together, like some sort of cheat code that just made Amelia Strays the best team in the league. Because since then, they were average last season, and now they're just having such a hard time, Ton.
Yeah, it's very much a different story, isn't it? We know Call of Duty things can change very, very quickly. It's never necessarily been consistent, has it? It's very much on the day, and well, Amelia Strays have not had a good day at all in Season 5 yet, to be honest with you. And Mavericks are looking to add to their woes now. Good start on the defensive side of things for Mavericks now. Amelia Strays all out of the garage trying to get some map control, but Mavericks well and truly set up and waiting for them.
Sucree doing a great job here of just holding off Amelia Strays, who really don't have any map control here. It's going to be an A push for them, realistically. They want to stop this clock and kind of break out to the easy side. They don't have any control here. Jackson, though, will come flying out towards Zig. Sucree finds one. Jackson goes down in the middle again here. Now there's a player left bottom art, but if you are Amelia Strays, every avenue to you is blocked.
It's hard, isn't it? When you lose that first gunfight, automatically puts you in a really bad spot when it does come to raid. The other team can really push themselves up, but this is a lot better for Amelia Strays. Watson and Pierre, well, momentarily do get a little bit of respite for them. 25 seconds remaining, though. 8 lives down. Very much a job to do. Callum 0 and 5 to 1 and 5 now. They just haven't found the kills. Vehicle hasn't died. This has been pretty much a flawless defense so far from the side of Mavericks. Can they close it out? Callum finds 2 kills. Can they get something going? Jackster with 1 as well. Vehicle, the only one to not die. That now falls. Jackster is going to secure mid-map, and A should be locked in here for Amelia Strays, who kind of clutched the round from the jaws of defeat here.
Well, here's the thing. Heavy number advantage to Mavericks, but that doesn't always mean everything. Chax are already getting on to Group B here. Eric Boone will be sitting up top bedroom, so that's going to slow them down a little bit. If Amelia Strays can find a break here, if they can somehow fill up that kill feed, which is exactly what they've just done, they might be able to stack this here. Callum going flying into it. He already goes down. Eric Boom is saving the Mavericks here. Somehow, some way, as he just cut somebody down through that curtain, and it is given time for his teammates to back him up.
Eric Boom has done so well. Just playing that situation where it's more about playing your life. He could have quite easily challenged those gunfights, not found the kills, and still just have done just as much work for his team by just staying up and alive. That fantastic stuff. And now it's a very, very difficult push for Amelia Strays, especially with 6 lives remaining. But can they find a flurry of kills as they did before to get hold of it? Callum finds Super, and all of a sudden back jungler now is kind of in control of Amelia Strays, but lives are leaking, just edging away from them. Now only 3 of them remaining, making that 10v2. This should be a Mavericks round.
Wow. I gotta say, story of that round though. Mavericks, Eric Boom. Amelia Strays came swinging back into that one, getting A control, and then Chaxter making some godlike plays, just get them onto B. They filled up the kill feed. They did everything they needed to do to try overcome that numerical disadvantage and actually just get B by stacking it. Unfortunately, Eric Boom was there, ready in bedroom, to destroy Amelia Strays' hopes.
Eric Boom really getting himself somewhere close to streaks there. It's his 2nd kill. That's outrageous. Did you see the spot on Reddit this week? Am I the only one that's seen it? Have I imagined this?
I haven't seen it. I haven't
need to find it. I was looking for it mid-broadcast.
Is it through the curtain?
It's like it kind of is. I might even just show you after this.
Okay.
It's that mental. Like the curtains on the right-hand side, you can see slightly underneath them. And there's an angle if you plant the bomb on the right-hand side from where we're seeing Eric Boom right now. You can see the bomb at B on Search and Destroy without being seen.
I love when players find things like that.
And it was from the Japanese Pro League of Call of Duty, which is the best thing.
Wow. Hey, I'm sure that's something some pro players are going to be keeping an eye on here. Already you can see, though, Mavericks have been rebuffed a little bit. They didn't get that push into B. They may have to settle for A here. Of course, you know, we've said this a billion times when it comes to raid. It's not the A capture that really matters the majority of the time. It's usually how they translate that into B. Most teams will end up just giving up, because it's can be just a life sink. But Eagle actually slipping through here. There is a player top laundry, has no idea. And he's going to try and make a play here. This is already, like I said, that A control doesn't really matter. Vehicle's actually playing for B. He knows this we need. There's a long flank coming in, though. It looks like Amelia Strays may try and lock this.
Kill coming in from Vigol, though, and yeah, that kind of puts a chink in the defensive armor, doesn't it? Although he does fall eventually, so Mavericks have to start from step number 1, so to speak.
Oh, lovely double chow there, but Callum almost gets the second one, not quite getting the snap right. Problem for Mavericks is currently still spawning them bottom basketball, and they're going to have to figure out a way to make this next wave of kills and get through. Chaxter just saw the players go and tries to get out of it, not quite quick enough. And now Callum trying to defend basketball court, comes out for it again. Eric Boom is the other player on the end of that, and he gets another kill. This time around, though, Watson will be the player by bedroom. He's bottom this time, trying to go through it. And this is very, very scrappy. Neither team really able to be confident in what they're doing.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the cleanest round of control. Mavericks will take confidence from the fact that they have a very solid kill lead here, although that has now been kind of etched away to not really a great deal. Look at Amelia Strays here, though. They are turtling up. You love to see teams on the defensive side of things, at least when it does come down to B, trying to expand, trying to get some sort of margin control, albeit, Mavericks haven't really allowed them to do that.
This is a difficult punch. Eventually, Superlo gets one. They're trying to go through it as well. Chaxton, though, holding off Eric Boom. That's a big play. They now have to look at Tiki if they're going to try and make a move here. They're bearing in mind reinforcements going to come through as well. Chaxter, again, holding the fort down. Those are two very big kills. It's not always about quantity. It can be about quality. You have to make sure kills like that are important. And now Mavericks have lost control, and they do not have the time to be sitting here doing nothing. Eventually, Sukri comes in. They have to collapse now, Ton. They're going to try and push into this and lock this one down as well. Callum goes down. Piero, they're going to be back basketball. That's a challenge by Eric Boom. And one more time, Eric Boom at the back, and he takes down Piero. And they will now stack this as Super's on a 5. Chax is coming through the stairs. I think we heard an artillery coming. It's all to play for. But somehow they managed to break in.
That's huge. That's huge from Chaxter. 7 seconds now. Super just needs to delay this as long as he possibly can. I don't think Mavericks have got time to even get over there. They're not quick enough, although can Eric Boom get inside? Not quite. Amelia Strays will get the defensive round by the hair on their chinny chin chin, Brycey. That was very, very close.
You got to say, right? This is what I'm talking about. It's not always about KD. Like, it's one of the worst used statistics in Call of Duty. I was speaking to a pro player about this the other night, right? There's not enough emphasis on big kills. Chaxter, actually quite negative. However, those 2 kills there completely stopped Mavericks' push. A push they've been working on for like a minute. It shut them down completely. They lost because of the time and because of the plays that were put in, not because of kills. Great play from Amelia Strays, 1-1.
It's strange for Mavericks because sometimes we see them in Search and Destroy. Very, very fast rounds, very aggressive. Then sometimes when it comes to the game modes that you think is more so about aggression and speed, when it comes down to hardpoint and control, they sometimes just take their time just a little bit too much. Their setups don't come as fluidly as they would maybe like. Nonetheless, when they are there, they are successful, but they're just maybe a little bit slow. Nonetheless, speaking of setups, Amelia Strays might be in a spot to get set up here. Got shots from Watson, not quite good enough to get rid of Super, though. He's still lingering around, and Mavericks will keep a hold of A. Look at this progressive beat. 2 ticks about to come in here. If they're not very, very careful, Eric Boom goes for that shot, and Piero Cud will outgun him. And that... Is that B gone?
Oh, no!
No way has he stopped that happening. No way they've stopped that happening. I mean, look, for Amelia Strays in that scenario, he's still 2 ticks over a B this early. Not a bad thing at all.
It really isn't. Big stop, though, realistically. It looks like they may even give up A here. This is going to be dangerous. Amelia Strays in a prime position. So we're going to be looking for this player into art, but that's going to go down here. Watson gunning vehicle as well. Oh, my goodness. It looks like Amelia Strays have found a new gear to go into, Ton, and That new gear is now pushing them into kitchen. They're going for this aggressively. Jackster flying out of the window. Sees another player going down. Watson gets one. Going for this now. As that starts to tick up, there are two players here. Has to jump out and try to get it, or it's going to be an A hold. And it is. It is going to be an A hold. This is so, so difficult.
It's going to be hard. You can see how Mavericks are set up. It's not necessarily traditional, and 7 lives down as well. They need basically a full 4-man wipe, and well, that's not going to happen. Checkstep, Piero, like a SWAT team moved through there to get control of back laundry, and now can Vikel do anything about this here? He needs to find a couple of kills to even give Mavericks the slight chance, and well, Watson's just giving him the ring around the rosy. They will find the wipe, though, so Mavericks can now push up and maybe set up here. They need pretty much a perfect hold, though, Bryce.
Well, that's not perfect. Not at the moment, as Callum gets 2. That's huge now. Amelia Stray should be capitalizing on this. Trying to get through, but somehow they've found 2 of their own. Chaks to come through. What? Vikel again just kicking the dreams of Amelia Stray into the dirt.
Oh, I mean, that's a ridiculous shot from Callum. Let's not get it wrong, but I mean, Vikel really has just been an absolute demon on the map. Now ready and waiting. There's, oh, okay, I've jinxed him. He got away with it in the end, but I mean, look, him finding that kill and getting away to this point actually kind of works out, because now they have to come searching for him. It leaves the rest of Mavericks in a spot where they can kind of take their time. He maybe doesn't expect 2 there. Super now finds a kill mid-map. 7v5, Mavericks really can't afford to lose any more gunfights yet. Super takes down Piero. Amelia Strays. You're getting a little nervous now. You're making me a little bit nervous. Vikel wins another gunfight in the middle. 10 seconds, Bryce.
I think that may be it. I just don't think they've got the legs to actually get through it here, as well as Mavericks somehow pull it out of the fire. An A hold with almost no kills. And you've got to say, I think Vikel did fantastic work there as well. He was just being such a pain. But yeah, that was ridiculous. That was an incredible hold from Mavericks. Something that doesn't happen that often on A.
Crazy. And it comes down to them making those moments where they would find that cluster of kills. It pushes them back. Like, finding trades here and there on control, yeah, it's okay, but if you're on the defensive side of things, you can find 3 kills. It kind of forces them back. It gives you some map control. And even though Mavericks were down at one point on the lives by what? I think it was maybe 7 or 8. It didn't make a blind bit of difference in the end, because they just stayed alive on the defensive side of things.
And here's the crazy thing, right? Mavericks, Amelia Strays went to make a play all the way around back laundry. They forced 4 through. We thought at that point maybe they can get a clear. That game is over, but it wasn't to be. And now you can see automatically Mavericks going for that early push. Watson actually backing off already. I think they may be giving this up. It's a long hold to do it. Piero Cod going to take a little peek.
Yep. Very, very, very long hold.
Now you can see.
And now
I mean, for him.
It's pretty much locked in at this point, isn't it?
They're trying to hold it though. I like this. They're trying to get the exit kills here. Sucre and Vikel. And Sucre a little bit quicker on the trade there. Might have kept his teammate alive. Doesn't really matter too much in the long hole. Sucre though finding Watts around the back as well. And it was going to be Amelia Stray's actually making a little bit of a play here for A. Eventually doesn't work out for them. But keep an eye on your minimap. Piero Cod is in one of the most dangerous positions you can be in on the defending team. This is so difficult. They have to break this. They cannot always ignore this player. A lot of times they will do. They'll go through mid-map in the kitchen and keep trying to fight it, but it's so annoying to have this lane closed off to you. Double chow.
Finds one. Not the worst. So they clear that out. I think if you are attacking B, as you're right, you kind of need to... It's kind of like going through a checklist, isn't it? It's like, right, clear mansion. Okay, get inside of money. That's kind of your go-to options to try and get some sort of control over the woods B. Amelia Strays have defended this very well, though. Mavericks really haven't gotten very far at all. They clear up the kills, and Amelia Strays now in a nice spot to try and defend things now. I don't think I'll be expecting 4-man out of Vault, though.
This is still a hard hold. Sorry, still a hard push, though, for Mavericks.
Yeah, look what Amelia Strays have done. It's perfect. They lose the gunfights in the middle or towards their spawn, and they send 2 people directly up towards top mansion. All of what Mavericks are doing now, yeah, great for them. Fantastic. Spawn them down towards basketball court. That means Jackson knows that this push is coming surely. Does so, finds the gunfight. And then you just set up top mansion, you can find the kills then. Very, very nicely done. And now Super is momentarily the only one anywhere near B.
Yeah, and he goes down. And this is it. Like, Amelia Strays, this is all them right now. I just don't see them being broken. Piero Cod doing very well. 4 streak up in that top bedroom. And Mavericks cannot find a gap in this defense. They just can't get it. They can make a kill or two, but it doesn't work out for them. Piero still alive. Piero still alive. 6 streak now. And Mavericks are floundering. I do have a player who might be able to jump in here. Sukri can stop this clock. There's a player watching for money. Piero again up top. Eventually will fall. Chaxter gets one. Chaxter's going to be on the flank here as well. Here comes Vico and Chaxter, and it's a double chow. They will come through again here, but it's Amelia Strays who only have to hold on for 5 seconds. Callum's come out the top here, and it's Sukri all alone. And there we go. Amelia Strays in the hold. We are going to the very final round, Ton.
Nicely done. And Amelia Strays, in that scenario, they see the life advantage. They see their position. They just make it super, super scrappy. Like, in that scenario for Amelia, sorry, for Mavericks, you need to clear out nearly that whole side of B, don't you? To really make it work. And it's just so hard to do when Amelia Strays are being that awkward. Very, very well played. Didn't necessarily play uniform or anything, just got scrappy with them. And here we are, going into round number 5. It is going to be Amelia Strays on the attack, so advantage over to Mavericks. That's where the kills do count.
Yeah, what I'll say though, last time Amelia Strays did such a great job on their attack. They got B early. They're going to try it again. It's going to be all onto Vehicle. To play foil here for this one. I wonder if he's calling it out. He's going to be. You see Callum already got hit. They're trying to get this one early. Vehicle sees Piero. A lot of pressure coming in here. Mavericks need to rebuff this. Oh my goodness, they've managed to do it. I don't even know how Vehicle keeps getting these angles.
Eric Boom should be able to clear and Tiki here as well. There you go. Callum's taken down. All while that's going on. Surely not. Oh. Eric Boom really has been, I would say, the player of the series for the Mavericks. Albeit potentially a short series. Piero will find a kill in the middle though. Can they still get something going over towards A? Mavericks look to be defending well. Oh, that's a badly timed grenade for Eric Boone to push into, but nonetheless, Mavericks still in a really nice spot and just staggering any sort of push that Amelia Strays are trying here, Bryce.
This is the problem. This is it. Every time you think Amelia Strays might be able to find something, Mavericks say, hey, back in your spawn, boys. I'm not quite ready for you guys to get anywhere onto this map here. Now, here comes the push into it. Callum already takes down one. Looking for Eric Boom. Does get the second as well. Now going onto it, but that nade will shut him down. Watson now going to try and lock this time off. Has to stop it as well. Piero caught up top. And this is still very, very good for Mavericks. They have the advantage here in this case. Super, though, he's going to go down to Watson, but they've lost A control. Eric Boom has shut it, but realistically, Chaxter says that's fine. B is better than A.
Let's see if they can get something with it, though. Mavericks, I mean, the flag's coming through. They've got the lives to kind of sacrifice to stop this happening. Piero will find Super, not before Eric Boom finds a fantastic shot on Watson, but that's 3 down now. Sukri in a good spot to maybe stagger this. He's in a good enough position for the rest of his team to then come off spawn. They've got enough time for that. Second tick goes through, and now he actually does need to start making this push, doesn't he? Chaxter now will know where he's coming from. Sukri will fall. That should be B. That's B. That might be the round. Look at this. They transitioned over towards A at the same time as well. They can stack it. And Mavericks were in the absolute most comfy of driving seats. And now all of a sudden they need to make something happen. Callum, Chaxter combining well. Vehicle needs to get inside the point. Super's there with him as well. He gets inside. Should be traded. Should be round. Should be game. Amelia Strays force to map number 4. Really, really well played in that last round.
I'll tell you something, Amelia Strays. Unbelievable play there to actually end up bringing that one back. Mavericks thought they were home and dry. 20 seconds left on the clock. They were pinning them back into the spawn. No, massive plays coming out. They flooded into B. They couldn't win the gunfights they needed to. Lost it and then lost A seconds later.
Yeah, that's one of those that you kind of... Honestly, I thought Mavericks were in a really good spot to do something there, to be honest with you. They had their players push them from Mansion, but then in that scenario, when you're over towards Money Tiki side basketball, that's where you're going to be defending usually for B. You need those players there to stay alive. If there's 2 of you on the flank, yes, okay, it's hard because they're going to have 4 players pushing them. But they need to play their life so safely whilst you're making that push because they're in a disadvantageous situation. But then you can put them in a really good spot if they do stay alive there. The pinch would come through. Mavericks would have probably won the round. It's hard to say because we didn't see that specific situation, but if Mavericks maybe play their lives just that little bit better there, they close out their round without losing a point. As it goes, Amelia Strays make a good push over towards B, transfer over fantastically towards A as well, and all of a sudden we've got a series on our hands as we head over to Raid once again, this time on Hardpoint though. And, well, I mean, it's kind of Mavericks don't do it. I told you, mate, Spain going out tilted them.
I don't know if that's a real thing you can bring up. Like, I don't know if that's actually happening here.
I'd be disappointed. I would be in no fit state to play Call of Duty.
You're in no fit state now, but I will say this, right? That is some very big plays from Amelia Strays. Like, their ability to work B on Raid, it happened last time around. The Mavericks had to do the long hold. They did. They pinned them back in the spawn. This time around, they were just too fast for them. They weren't able to get it. They even held... Here's the thing. Mavericks held top bedroom. We've spoken about how great it is, but they managed to just get their players in positions where they couldn't be seen. And the fact they lost every other gunfight that needed to push those players out speaks volumes. Amelia Strays just, I don't know, just have the ability to work B better than most teams that I've seen, because usually it's A and then we'll do the long work on B. Here they managed to capture B first twice. Certainly something to be lauded for in this one. And now let's see if they can turn that success into another map here on Raid Hardpoint.
Let's see if they can do it. Maybe making or arguing a case that they should be in maybe in a better spot in this league, but they haven't won the games they needed to. I think they would have looked at this one. Yes, okay, they're only 2-1 down now. They would have looked at this one and said, right, this isn't necessarily the most important. These guys are way up towards the top. We need to be winning against the teams around. But at this stage, they need to just be winning. They just need to be winning.
Well, winning at Mavericks certainly would lift the spirits in the Amelia Strays camp quite significantly, I would say. Let's see exactly what they do here on this hard point. Is it going to be a little bit of a breakdown for the Spanish? We will see. On board, though, with Piero Cod to kick things off, Tom.
And can Amelia Strays claw this series back from the jaws of defeat? That's what it feels like they're potentially going to do. And it's a good way to kick things off. 2 kills going to come on through. Mavericks with a more favoured spawn side, of course, with that kitchen control over towards P2. They'll want to keep a hold of that and laundry themselves. Chankster wrapping back round. It's going to be a tight game, this, I feel. Just that last round will give Amelia Strays a hellish amount of confidence, and that's a hellish amount of kills coming on through for them. They'll be able to lock in P1 here.
You see already, Watson, Piero. Pretty good, Callum. No, eventually will end up taking down. And now Eric Boom got to fly out here. And that is... Dr. Maddie's just put to fantastic work there as well. Eric Boom trying to stay alive here on 7 health. Not going to be able to do it here. Watson will pick up 2 as well. Amelia Strays doing a good job here of P1, of course. The P2 rotation is about to hit, and Piero Cod has broken through. Now needs to play his life in money. And this is a very dominant Amelia Strays team. How on earth they've just ripped all control away from Mavericks?
It's just too easy for them to push through. Mavericks are... their heads are in the bin here. I don't know what's going on. They just can't seem to now win a gunfight. They went from absolutely smoking them to now looking like it's me and you controlling the players, Bryce. It's not looking good.
And there we go again. Oh my goodness, Mavericks can't get anywhere near. And they're going to have to give this up completely. Going to go into the P3 with only 7 points. They're going to be hoping for a very, very good hold here to get them back into this game, Ton. You see now, Amelia Strays, though, will be pushing forward. Watson currently 8-1. He has certainly flicked a switch somewhere and is now being the leading force for his team. Here they go, though. Amelia Strays looking for the push. Vico, oh, it's going to go down. Chaxter instantly gets him. Callum gets one as well. Sucre's going to try and come through. Finds Watson. Finds the second player, and that's the hold they needed. Reinforcements desperately trying to get here for the side of Mavericks now.
Yep, they need to get here very, very quickly. Nothing is working for the side of Mavericks, and Amelia Strays have really just come to life. Piero even guns them there. Nicely done. Mavericks are lost. What is going on here?
So,
Watson's 10 and 2.
What's going to happen map 5?
I mean, yeah, we might as well talk about it then. At this point, honestly, I don't know. I would have always said Mavericks to win it. They looked fantastic against Elevate when it came to Raid, Search, and Destroy. At this point, I'm not quite sure what to say about this. Look, I suppose Raid is very much one of those. You must rotate early and you must be able to hold. Mavericks, 2 good hills and they're back in this game, but you don't ever want to have to be in that spot where you're having to pull out 120 seconds without answer to even just put you in the lead by 10. So, I mean, look, it's not looking good. It's really, really not looking good if Watson keeps firing like this. He's staying alive. He's challenging stuff. What am I seeing?
This is ridiculous. Mavericks cannot catch a break. They're just being gunned all over Raid as Chaxter comes in and says, hey, thanks for seeing you. Thanks for keeping the hardpoint warm. We're back in it again. Mavericks have got 17 points over the last 3 hills. This is sorry, over the last 4 hills. This is bad.
We are seeing a breakdown. That is literally where I'm at with this right now.
I don't know.
I think witnessing is maybe the right term.
It's just not an awful lot to break down about this one. Every
Yeah,
single time
you know,
think Mavericks are in a position they're not.
This
They
is
just seem to disappear.
my least favorite kind of game to commentate over. It's like,
it's just...
what do you say? Like,
well, Mavericks finally got some points on the board. I'll say that. They're currently in P5. Comes Chaxter, though, to try and get into this one. Going to find Super as well. And there it goes, all the way back to Amelia Strays.
well, Mavericks will probably be discussing the SnD tactics at the moment.
Oh, man, certainly we'll be discussing the 100-point club that's coming over the hill like a monster.
I'd like to point out, Piero is having a fantastic series. Well, he was holding that well, but not going to come on through. But Callum clutches up. It's just every situation. I mean, how would you ever have expected to get to this situation where we're heading into the second rotation of Raid? Amelia Strays have broken 200.
This is pretty bad. This is
Doesn't happen often.
no. And now they're just fighting for their lives. I don't know if they're going to be able to play COD well enough to bring this all the way back here. Realistic Mavericks are faltering all over Raid at the moment, and Callum cleans up too. Says, all right, I'll jump in this one now, and they can actually win it on this one as well, and they might just end it here. If anything, it'll be a mercy ending.
Well, I mean, this is 25 off. This is just a pure collapse from the side of Mavericks now.
I think that's it. We are witnessing a breakdown. It has been a complete and total rout on this, and well, Mavericks get some scrap time, and they would have to hope Amelia Strays disconnect here, realistically.
Yeah, that's pretty much the win condition.
I just don't know. I just don't know if this is really plausible for them to come back into it.
I mean, make a good comeback, wouldn't it?
It would make an incredible comeback, but
That's when Alan would like to commentate over this kind of game. A 240 to 50.
Seconds ton.
Yeah, 240 to 50. When it comes down, and even the thing is that the fact that it's raid, Amelia Strays could rotate right now, and they're going to. Yep.
Eric Boom has to basically fight his way through all of them.
Oh.
Eventually does get two. However, look, that player, number 2, Piero, is about to hit the back of the hill.
Super has to go massive.
Another player challenging him. He can't lose. He can't lose. Oh, somehow they keep the players here. It's enough. Piero Cod will get another point. Surely this is over now. I think it is. Yeah, Vehicle's even left. Vehicle said, no, there's no way we're getting to this now. There was a tiny bit of hope. And I will say, Mavericks, welcome to the 100-point club. Amelia Strays. I said earlier, I'm going to have to eat my own words here, Ton. I did say I didn't think they were the team to make the reverse sweep. They've brought it to a map 5.
I'm not sure how, if I'm honest. Without the first 2 rounds
of control, like,
yeah,
Mavericks were having a great time.
Having a fantastic time, and they haven't been able to capitalize on their position in that control. Ultimately heads them into a map number 4, and hey, look, I don't know what's gone on there, but you have to sort of figure it out if you are the side of the Mavericks. Look, they looked good on the previous map number 5 that we've seen them up against Elevate. They've been forced to 2 map number 5s. It would speak of their character if they can get away with the win here in map number 5 up against Amelia Strays. That would be 2 map number 5s on Raid specifically coming up in a second. It's, hey, look, reverse sweeps on the cards, Pricey.
It really is. And if you're Mavericks, you're sitting there going, we could have ended this. We could have ended this in that round of control. 20 seconds was all that was left. And somehow they end up just losing it completely. And it has set us up for this final map. Raid again. The trifecta of Raid to determine who comes out on this one. This is Mavericks' flawless record on the line, by the way, as well.
Yeah, and it's important for them to keep that up, because there are teams like Timor who are going to want to advance on through here, and if they want to stay in that top 2, staying flawless heading into the last day is a good way to do it. I want to say that this game would, at the top of my head, would guarantee them top 2, I think. But don't necessarily quote me. I know that they've got, well, yeah, they have to play up against Oglis, I believe. It's the only team they haven't played. Now there are the flawless teams obviously playing each other. That would make sense. So if they do win this, it's kind of the fight for first tomorrow night. So that makes things very, very interesting. But which way is this one going to go? And that's the thing. If they don't win this game, they could even drop out of the top 2.
Wow. Let's see how it all does go down, of course. I believe this game is very, very close to starting. And who ends up winning? Well, if you'd asked any of us for any of the past 4 maps, it would have been Mavericks. Now it is not so sure. It does seem like Amelia Strays are on the board. They are locked in and they are ready to try and reverse sweep them. This is something I didn't think would happen. I came into this one heavy favourites Mavericks. Didn't think Amelia Strays had much left in them. They found a little bit of gold at the end of the rainbow and somehow got to here.
Well then, here we go. Amelia Strays, can they complete the reverse sweep? Well, just to let you know, there was a little bit of trash talk going on in the little in-game lobby. Little text chat. You'd love to see it. Nonetheless, you hate to see it if you're an Amelia Strays fan. Now 1v3 for Piero.
Just going to point out, I think they've forgotten they're not playing Hardpoint anymore, as everybody just ran in for massive trades here. Piero finds a double chow. And Mavericks take the first round here. That was very, very quick. Like 28 seconds. Oh, look at that.
I mean, it just opens it up. I mean, that's stupid, isn't it?
And this is where it gets serious here. Both teams will be pulling out all of the stops here. Mavericks know they want this one to all but guarantee, and I have to go and do the maths for it, but to basically make sure their top 2 go into the playoff bracket. More money, more opportunities to win the entire thing in stage 5. Amelia Strays, again, will not only want this reverse sweep, but want to find their way into the knockout bracket, the other side of it, to stay alive and have an opportunity to essentially fight their way back into the highest position possible.
I love this aggressive setup from Mavericks. There's no way they're going to expect 2 of them here nearby. Watson will find the kill, but just the one player in Zig not going to make this push. or just outside of it, I should say. That's going to give a little bit of info over. Eric Boom is probably going to make this transition very, very quickly. I think he is inside a Zig, actually, isn't he? He's at the side of the wall.
He's behind the door.
Yeah, I was going to say it wouldn't make sense for him just to be staring at the wall on the side of it.
Also, I'm surprised Watson or Piero hasn't actually picked up this bomb. They will actually do it. Now, going to try and get this down. They're actually applying it for laundry. I don't know if they know they have the control there, but it is going to be planted forward as well. I know Eric Boom trying to move into action here. He's going to find one as well. Watson has now gone down. Piero Cod is hiding desperately. And that's it. That's all done. And, I thought Administrators might have it there for a chance, but not able to just defeat the numbers of the Mavericks. Also, I got confirmation from our wonderful production team and the admins, and said I'd do the math, but they've beaten me to it just to make sure. Technically, if Mavericks lose this one, they would not drop out of top 2 because of the tiebreaker with Team War. I do appreciate that coming through. That's why I said a potential. You gotta do the math before you come into this one.
Or the maths.
The maths, depending on American or English. Don't correct me.
Because
we have
just making
American
sure you were
production team.
Yeah,
math.
I was making sure you were in line with where you're from. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go into the conversation we had before broadcast.
Well, let's talk about the game that's going on there. Super already deflecting a little bit of pressure through Zig. You see that bomb is going down. Super managing to get a nade onto Chaxter, and that bomb has now gone down. Mavericks in the driving seat once again. Pressure now coming in though on Callum. Has to make this kill ton.
Oh, take your time. He snapped onto it, and I get it. See things, shoot them, but if he takes his time, Vigo's just got the best timing. Oh my goodness me. Oh, if you're Amelia Strays, you'd hate to see that. Oh, it's probably going to show it as well, isn't it? Watch them both run past him. Oh, God. Pain.
Nothing worse. Nothing worse than that bit of COD timing when you realise just that one corner you haven't checked goes against you here. Callum having a little bit of a hard start on this one. 0 and 3 as we jump on the sticks with him. You can now see the push coming through. Is this a P5 control? It could be potentially. You see a bit of a stack coming through. No, nade coming out. They have to dodge out of this one. Amelia Strays deciding not to have any of it. And they do eventually get out of there with their lives, but with an awful lot of health left remaining. Will regenerate though. Callum has an Eric Boom on the flank here. Will have called that out to his teammates as well. That's a shutdown. Big play here from Amelia Strays in their opening gambit onto A.
Can they make it work? Can they turn it into something here? Piero with a good defense of this bomb site. The Mavericks have not stopped pressing forward because they know they need to find these kills quickly. Oh dear. Super can't finish his dinner, and then all of a sudden Amelia Strays are really in a good spot to close this one out. I can't imagine a 1v4 is going to happen. Amelia Strays will make it 3-1.
They needed that one. They needed a regain here. I do wonder, bearing in mind, we kind of saw a reverse of this last time around where Amelia Strays took a commanding lead and then ended up seeing Mavericks just run all over it. We'll see what happens on the attack here. We'll say Amelia Strays, sometimes their strats. I mean, that pick for the beginning to find that first player, Eric Boom, who was flanking, really opened up the map for them, allowed them to get A control. Big shout through the middle again, and Super gets 2. Both teams always committing to that mid push. And oh my goodness, Eric Boom has just gunned them completely. Watson now has to furiously backpedal. He's found one, doesn't find the second. Eric Boom, I think, got that one as well. Now 4-1 to the Mavericks ton.
Just another solid round. Eric Boom has really had his way with Amelia Strays this whole entire series for the most part. It's accumulating in what seems to be a pretty dominant map number 5.
Well, Amelia Strays on with the man of the moment. Watson dominant in that last hard point on raid. Now has to find the magic once again here. And it's going to be slow. I wonder if they're trying to throw them off here by not giving any information away. Super gets first blood on the Jackson, though. Watson flying out. And it will be Eric Boom to answer. Big pressure coming through. Callum already gets him down, but it will be Sucre over the top as well. And now Pierrecon's alone and down. And Mavericks are 5-1. They just cannot find anything here. Amelia Strays are shut down in every direction.
Again, Eric Boom finding kind of the crucial one. If he loses that gunfight to Watson, it's maybe a bit of a different story, but well, combined 8 kills without dying on the side of Mavericks. And Amelia Estrellas, Callum 1 and 6, Traxter 1 and 5. It's not worked out for them at all. Super, somehow not hitting anything but air. He sprays through that. Callum now trying to get aggressive with this push as Eric Boom may expect him here. Nonetheless, he's going to get peppered with a couple of bullets in the head, but Callum gets out unscathed.
You see Mavericks, I mean, they've got 5 rounds to play with. Split and pick, though. And Watson will get the first blood here. Decides to back off as well. They have P5 control. They have all the map control. Chaxter gets another one. Callum being aggressive. Vico eventually taking down Chaxter, bringing it back to a 2 versus 3, but he's super injured. I think Callum has found a kill as well. I think you're going to see Super go down.
Okay.
Somehow Vico has made another one. 1v2. Technically, this is for the eggs if you can get both of them.
He's not going to check this, is he? Nope.
No.
I wouldn't either. 5-2. Mavericks still very much in prime position to clean this one up. I hope we see this second kill from Vigel. It's just like, yeah, there's probably somebody on Zig. Let's just chow.
Yeah, at the moment, Amelia Strays are bleeding from basically everywhere. Eyes, ears, teeth. Just a lot of bleeding going on from them. They need to figure out a way back into this. They have to be flawless on SnD. They need 5 rounds in a row, and they've got the first.
Amelia Strays are going the B strat. They really had to fight for that previous round, so can they keep it up? 4 rounds in a row is not easy. Mavericks set themselves on that very nice base to get this one done, albeit in map number 5. The Strays are going to be spotted. I mean, Eric Boom, once again, though. Time and time again, Brycey's just finding these important kills.
He is now. Amelia Strays aren't entirely certain what to do. They want to make another push. Somehow Chaxter goes down. The wall bang is there. Piero wants this down now. He knows their only opportunity is to get it down and get out. Watson last alive. Finds one. Tries to find the second. It's shoulders at midnight. And Mavericks will walk away with this one 3-2. They stop the reverse sweep. They take the SnD in a commanding victory of 6-2. But that was not as clean as they would like. Oh. What a game. What a game.
A weird one.
A weird one.
I just, like, it. Even when we went to map number 5, there wasn't, and I'm sorry to Amelia Strays for this, there wasn't a part of me that thought Mavericks were going to lose. Even after how the control happened and the hardpoint happened, I still just thought all the way through, and I know it's like, oh, well, you will say that now, but I genuinely just thought that they would be able to close it out no matter what happens. They have looked like that team. Amelia Strays haven't looked like the squad that we expected them to over the course of the last 2 seasons. So, look, very difficult for them, absolutely, but Mavericks clutched it where they need to, Bryce.
They certainly did. We're going to take a quick look at the schedule, but while we do that, actually, I want to ask Ellen her thoughts on that game.
You described it very well. Very weird. When Mavericks was up 2-0, I was just anticipating. I was already sitting here ready to go back on, and then the hard point. I don't know what happened. It just was interesting. But Amelia Strays, I will say, I feel for them, Pricey. Like, Elevate, War, Orgless, Mavericks. Like, they had all the hard matches, I feel like, and they just really never really got a foot in. But that game, I was surprisingly close for me here. It was very surprisingly close.
It certainly was. And of course, that does wrap up our European region, by the way. If you have been joining us, we did see August take down Team War 3-2, and the game we just saw, Mavericks, took down Media Strays. It does mean coming up the North American region, Law Gaming versus UIU, and UT Crew versus Team Canada. And of course, happens after we take an extended drive in the countryside for about an hour and a half, but we will be going over to North America. Maybe that's what we do for our breaks. They don't know. We could be doing anything. We could be playing chess for all they know. Like, we really could.
Seems more plausible than a drive in the countryside.
Oh, really? All right. Well, you know, maybe I will go for a drive. You don't know. Nobody knows what happens. One thing I do know that will happen, of course, is that our European region is done and dusted. More great games out of them tomorrow, of course. You can join us here again at 8 o'clock UK time, or some crazy American time. I can't remember. I think it's midday or something like that one. But if you are North American and joining us, of course, everything to come up. We do have our North American region kicking off. While sometimes it does seem like it's 8 o'clock over there with the amount of team changes, we will keep you updated on who's doing well and who's not doing great. All that and more on Call of Duty Challengers Elite coming up right after this.